You know, your countdown...
3, 2. Did you hear that? Welcome in, everybody. And by everybody, I mean just me and Jason at the current exact moment. Sugar Rush. There it is. Boom.
His count-in is a little, like, arbitrarily fast, slow, whatever he thinks is necessary. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's loud. Sometimes he doesn't do it at all.
Sometimes I got to get right into it.
He doesn't have time for my chit-chat at the beginning, is what he's saying. I typically come in and just start chit-chatting.
Oh, no.
I like to talk to my friend Chris.
Oh, no.
What's the matter?
I don't have my water.
Oh, no.
Oh, why?
Paid professional, Chad.
Oh.
Paid professional.
I'll get up and go get it later.
Chris, would you like my water?
No.
Would you like a... We had some other waters.
No.
I have a water here, a bottle.
No.
Would you like it?
No.
I'll give it to you.
It's no. Rather just suffer. I'm just kidding. I'll go get it.
You've learned a lot about Chris in the last 3 seconds.
Visual artist, Alex Vippus, Rattlecan. I'll go get it here in a second. Stan, that chai cat. Hello. What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's
Vigilant.
having a
That's
good
awesome.
day.
Yeah, we'll start about halfway through the show. We typically look at them.
Yep.
How many do we have today?
33, which is typical.
It's good.
We end up having like 25, 30, but it's OSL. So get ready, folks.
Good number of models, good stuff to look at. I never look at them before we start the deal, so I never look at them.
I try. Obviously, you have
every
to
now and then
tag
they
me.
fool me, and there's a call out that says there's an announcement in there because every now and then you'll do an at all or at everyone.
I have to do that.
Yeah. So I turned off my at everyone, so I don't even see those anymore. Because occasionally you get me. I would go and click in there and I'd see stuff and be like, I'm not supposed to be here.
Mo, 109 months, Mo. Thank you for that sub, Mo. We love you.
I haven't even been alive that long, Mo.
109
That's how we know you're a liar. I haven't been alive for 109. I'm only 55. Math.
Yeah, that adds up.
Math.
I'm a mummy, says Mo.
Math.
No, you're a Mo. You're not a mummy, you're a Mo. Mo, the Mo you know. Ooh, we can really zoom in on this one.
Look at what I did.
What did you do? Oh, yes. Last night, Jason had a little bit of a moment in Discord. You guys all had a fun time, I heard.
We had a hobby and hang. It was fantastic. There were there was always like 25 people in there, and we didn't realize is that it queues people up. Like it won't let you in past 25.
Oh, wait a second.
So we have some work we have to do.
It won't let you in past 25?
No, because on the normal rooms, even though it says attendance limit, it sets a limit if you have video capability. And because we had video turned on because we want to be able to share our work, it limits it to 25 people.
Okay, we'll figure that out.
But we can make it a stage. A stage can have up to 300 people, but it's limited to how many people can be showing video. So I think it becomes more of a, you raise your hand and I give you the ability to show your screen.
Oh,
kind of a
yeah,
thing.
like, okay, that makes sense.
So it's a little bit more maintenance, but I think that's the way to go. No, we boost the server. We're a community server, and I pay for that. So I don't know what else we have to do.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
It was fun, Lumberjack. I wasn't able to stay.
Yeah, it was great. It was great to have everybody there. Lots of people talking and chatting. Good questions. It's kind of like our AMA was at Nova. It was just some random questions. It was a lot of talking about Horus Heresy.
Nice. Well,
so Tim would have loved it. Tim, you missed it.
Tim, next time.
Lots of heresy chat. We were talking about Blood Angels, Space Wolves, all the good stuff. And then I got all of my gold base coated.
You did a lot of gold trim last night.
I think. This is one of those where I didn't really look. I just got into mechanical mode, and I just started doing the same thing on every model.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I did everything I was supposed to do. Like, I didn't do any of the swords because I don't know what I'm doing for the swords anyway. But, yeah, so there you go.
Val says, speaking of Horus Heresy, what colors would you guys use for Traitor Sons of Horus?
Well, the Traitors had gone to being called Sons of Horus. So they were the seafoam green, blue kind of coloring. The Luna Wolves were white. So if you were doing Loyalist Luna Wolves, then you do white. But if you're doing Traitors, you do that kind of seafoam color. And I think that the color that I like in our line that does that really well is starting with almost like a like a jade and then starting to mix in like faded green into the jade works really well. Because jade gives enough of a blue, but if you start then adding small amounts of faded green into it, then you get that kind of desaturated coloring across the top. That would be really cool. It was nice learning about lore and other people's views on the lore. Yeah, we just kind of spew nonsense, but...
Nice learning about the lore. Oh, yeah, Chris, you should have been there, maybe listening to me. Yeah, Stan maybe. Maybe that's
Stan has the quintessential British accent. Although... Chris's Ringo from Yellow Submarine is fantastic.
I bet Stan would be really good at it. Stan, I know you. I know that was perfect and spot on.
Spot on, Christopher. Spot on.
The Horace who?
Horsey?
Make more like Boris Heresy. Wow. Lumberjack coming in from left
The Horace
field.
Heresy is a great story.
Boris Heresy.
It is a great story. You don't have to admit that we're right, but it is a great story. Whether the way it's told is always great is up for debate, because there are some really stinker books in the Horus Heresy.
Stinker.
But the concept and the overall delivery is very good. It misses on very little to be a good, captivating, emotionally thought-provoking kind of a storyline.
Breakup Google says, just finished blocking in the black on a bunch of Necrons. They are black and bright silver at this stage. You can do a number on the eyes. Ooh, classic Necrons. I like it. I can't do liver. Stan, that's okay. Loyalist blue meanies.
The blue meanies
So
are
for
coming.
all of you tuning in, we are going to do our OSL review challenge at the back half of stream, probably around 3. We'll scoot over to the other table. Jason and I will go over all of the models you submitted, which are very cool. I try not to look at them either. So, yeah. Alex puts the PDF together slideshow for me, so I try not to see him either. But I do see him because you have to tag me, so.
Tadpole says he just hit the second opera in Fulgrim. That's where we were told the story gets good. I've never been able to finish that book. I have it. The first 2 times I tried to read it were just a book in your hands. Now I have the audiobook. So we'll see.
Second opera.
Oh. When you're discussing Fulgrim, it has to be in operas for some reason.
I would agree.
You don't even know what we're talking about.
I know who Fulgrim is.
Who?
Fulgrim?
Yeah.
The Primarch?
Yeah.
The
Of what?
Of Hold. He's the children guy, isn't
The
he?
children guy. That's kind of fishy.
Isn't he 1,000 sons?
The 1,000 children.
The children
He's
of
the
Horus.
Primarch of the 1,000
Children of the Emperor. Childs of the Emperor.
Emperor's
Kiddos
children.
of the Emperor. Emperor's
children.
children.
There you go. He got there.
Emperor's toddlers.
He got there.
I try.
He's the Primarch of the 1,000 children.
1,000 emperors.
I think we should write like a very farcical adaptation with the 1,000 children.
Heresy Horus.
The cosmic dogs.
Heresy Horus. With 1,000 adults. John said, I would not go to one of the Fulgrim's theater productions, and also do not sniff his artwork.
Yes.
Gross.
Gross.
I don't even need context for that one, John. Ryan, what's going on? Flapjack. Who we got in here? Ozzy. Moe's Big 109. Paint Liquor. Horse Heresy. Yes, Flapjack. Every time I try to go into Google, like, the talk to text, it always does horse. Never gets Harris, like Horus. Ever. It's always like, did you mean horse heresy? No, I didn't. I definitely didn't.
No, I didn't. How are those custodes coming along, Christopher?
Me?
Yeah.
My Thunder Boys?
Your custodes.
My Thunder Warriors?
How are they coming?
They're coming out okay. I still need to finish building the rest of them. I've got one more print.
What's holding you up, my friend?
Um,
What's the slacking about?
what's the slacking about? I should have bought resin bases.
Oh, that takes a lot out of you, doesn't it?
I should have bought resin bases. I love basing, and this basing scheme is fun, but it takes a minute, and I'm deciding to pre-prime everything. So I have to do the bases first, and then I prime everything. It looks really good. It's just taking me a minute to do it, and I have not been motivated lately to paint. I'm sorry, to build. That's the problem. I love the painting part. I just don't want to build it, and I've set it up in a way where I have to do it. So I'm trying to. I powered through 9 of them last night. So
nice.
I got more.
So you are making progress.
I have a 1,500 point army ready to go.
Very cool. Very cool.
Not painted. Half of it's painted. But
very cool. Blake and I are gonna do some throwing down on Sunday if you got time.
Blake, really?
Yeah, the guy that did Kill Team with us.
Horus Heresy, huh?
Yeah.
Where are you doing it?
Maybe here.
Oh, I might be able to do that.
Come down on Sunday.
I might be able to swing it.
We haven't done anything with it, so we're just gonna play some rules. I've got all these armies, so.
Oh, you're just gonna play.
Just do the rules.
Yeah, huh? I might be into that. Ryan said, I may or may not have gotten my Orktober orc in today. Nice. We are doing Orktober, everybody. So the challenge for October is Orktober.
I have too many Sons of Sanguinius to paint. I can't think of
Jason will
any way to take any time away from these guys.
Jason will be gone several days in October.
Oh God, a whole week.
Yep. So Jordan and
that's
I.
November. Am I gone in October?
Yeah, dude, you're going to.
I am gone.
Yeah,
I'm gone for a whole week. You're watching my house.
That's right.
I'm trusting this man with our dogs and our house.
That's true.
People say he's trustworthy, chat.
Only takes one.
What, one person to say you're trustworthy or one mistake?
Yep.
Oh, God.
Yeah. What's the worst kept secret? What's the worst kept secret? I was doing orcs in paint and hang. Nice, Tadpole. What's up? Jason says, Mo, that is an easy fix. Just put some decapitated orc heads on the bases. Problem solved. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good point. He could do that. He could do that. I missed the Discord paint. Is there a schedule for them? I'd love to make the next one. We'll let you know next one.
This
we'll plan it out a little bit.
This one was just kind of a test, so I just kind of threw it out there. The day before, people were saying how great it would be to do that, and I was like, well, maybe we'll do it tomorrow and give it a test. So we did, and it was great. So yes, there will be more. We will come up with a calendar for them. I love the idea. I want to make sure that it's something that I can adhere to before we commit to broadly. So it might be kind of spotty at the beginning while we figure out what works on the schedule for me. But yesterday was great. We did it from 4 right after the stream till about 6:30, something like that. And it was a lot of fun. I had a blast.
Nice.
So I would love to keep it going. As long as there's interest, I will invest in it. But yeah, it was really good. It was just fun, casual talk, hanging out, painting with your friends. Anything that you wanted to talk about, you didn't have to talk at all. We had a lot of people just kind of lurking, painting in the background, having fun. All good.
Yeah, definitely got some orcs to paint. Throw them in there. Hop them in there. Hop them in there. I like that instead.
What did you say, pop them?
I said hop them in there.
Hop them in the chat.
Hop them in the Discord challenge.
The Discord, okay. That doesn't make any sense. What does
it
hop mean?
I know. It's because I died a little bit and then came back to life.
Did.
I die in between those words. It's great. Heresy Talk is always good, says Iterator.
I love it. We talked 40K, why the 40K narrative isn't near as good as the 30K narrative.
The 30K one seems pretty intense.
Well, it's what sets the stage for everything else Warhammer.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say that it isn't, the most formative narrative in that world. But there's still some holes in it. There's still some things they kind of cheapened out on. There's still a lot of things that didn't get a lot of attention. That is a shame, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how you take all 18 legions and give them enough, 19 if you include Custodes, how you give them enough room to be relevant, because that's a lot of content that you have to drum up. But at the same time, I think they did an admirable job with all of it.
Ryan says, speaking of October, what changes would you make to non-metallic steel to give it a more iron look instead of a blue, cold steel look?
Using grays instead of any blues helps that a lot, right? So just stay in like the neutral and warm gray space as opposed to using any blues. I like the blues on it because I think it just adds a particular nuance to the color, a little bit more depth. But if I were doing like wrought iron, I wouldn't use blue. And so I think just going with the neutral gray, you can start dark neutral gray, bright neutral gray. It's really easy. And in that neutrality, you get more of a normal kind of metal look that can look really good still. And then you can add a little bit of environment color if you need to, a little bit of yellow in the highlight reflected areas and stuff to give it a feel of being outdoors or whatever you want. You can still make it look really good.
Craig, welcome in. Rock says, my main issue with 30K narrative is how little the rest of the galaxy matters. It's just all about the human conflict, nothing from the Xeno factions.
The problem is that the Xeno factions are really meaningless in anything other than the game. From a narrative standpoint, they never matter. They've tried to make them matter. They just never matter because it isn't as interesting. And there's a psychological reason for that. And we discussed it a little bit. And I don't know what you taught. I'm not a psychologist, so I'm not going to pretend that I know all the fancy clinical names. But there is an uncanny valley, we'll go with that, right? There's an uncanny valley understanding that when you have humans and aliens, the humans are going to win because there's a human superiority mindset built into us as humans. And so anytime you present a story that is humans and aliens, the idea is that, the Space Marines are going to win, right? And so it becomes less interesting. And so GW can't really get behind it as much, I don't think, because they're not going to sell as much content that way. They're not going to, you notice how all the big edition boxes never have anything except Space Marines fighting one of the other factions. They don't release a deal that's Eldar and Orcs. Because nobody cares. It's not that they don't like Eldar and they don't like Orcs, but it's like in the narrative side of things, it only works when humans are involved. It's the pressure against the humans. And that's why I think that the Horus Heresy is the better narrative, because it is humans against humans. So you have an emotional attachment to both sides of the fight. And start rooting for somebody,
Yeah.
Whereas rooting for Orcs is kind of, you can. I love Orcs, and I think they're great, but it's hard to tell. You can't write a Tyranid book from the idea of the Tyranids. They've tried to in like Devastation of Baal. They tried to tell some of the story from the mind's eye of a lictor, and it just didn't work.
Interesting.
Because they're not really sentient. They're like drones. The Tyranids are. So there's no interesting story to be told there. All the interest of Tyranids is told from the humans that interact with them and get decimated by them, right? It's like, you can think of it like a found footage film, right? Is that the only way we know about the Tyranids is because we found a camera that has this horrible footage in it of these people getting eaten by bugs. And then it becomes a little interesting. That was one of those, you're not listening to me, Chris.
No, I guess I was just thinking about how you would tell the story from the hive mind and actually make it make sense. That was my
Yeah, it's just not interesting.
It would be an interesting story to tell, but I don't know how you would tell it. Or it would be hard to tell. If you
humanize it enough for us to feel like it's interesting, then it's no longer the hive mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Because, that's not a... Yeah.
Think of an alien movie told from the perspective of the alien. All it would be, or like Predator. It's just like, heat vision and killing. They try to humanize it, and then all of a sudden they're too human, and now it's not interesting anymore. So it's just a struggle with the psychology of being human and having to consume content. And I'm not afraid to say that it's that human superiority complex, because we have it as a species. We have it.
Colm says, they're basically the zombies in a zombie movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the impending force.
I still love them. I still love all the Xenos things. And I do understand, we talked about that last night, that it's just Space Marine on Space Marine action. So it's not exactly the most interesting thing you're ever going to do if you really love Tau, if you really love all of the Xenos factions in 40K. Then I totally understand why the Heresy is less interesting.
Flapjack says, Lictor?
Hardly
I hardly know her.
So bad.
I'm so glad you said that, Flapjack.
He's not really.
Where is the pink plaid going? Says Curtis.
Where's what?
Where's the pink plaid going?
Do I have to answer that question?
That's an excellent question.
It's a horrible question.
It was asked, so there's a question mark there. Curtis, great question. I'm going to pin that.
I'm going to pin that.
I'm gonna pin it. Great question.
Christopher, don't root these people on.
Where is the plaid going?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't paint
why
plaid.
won't let me pin?
I don't paint plaid. That's against the rules.
Hot Space Marine on Hot Space Marine action. Whoa! Yeah. What are you going to do? Nothing. Kenny, I understand you have this hot dog thing going on. I know there should be a cool hot dog decal on that chest.
What?
Kenny's really wanting you to do a hot dog decal somewhere.
I am not speaking. Is this our Kenny?
This is our Kenny.
I know where you live.
He does.
Why is this about hot dogs?
W2 will tell him. Stan says Fulgrim would have pink plaid somewhere. Probably. Maybe his under drawers. Pink plaid. Maybe.
His underpant?
His under drawer. Under his drawer. Flapjack says, follow-up question. What does it mean to licked a woman? Game delay banned.
Game delay, this is not that kind of a channel. You know better than that.
Inappropriate. Game delay. Can't believe I said that. Inappropriate. Here's a question. Got any tips for your Pro Acryl metallics? I'm trying to use them and they're either super thick and pasty and dry out quickly or tend to separate or soupy and wash-like. Any tips on our metallics?
I mean, just a little bit of water on your brush makes them work great. That would tend to make me think you're either using too dry a brush or thinning them too much. You can use them however you like, but you need to just have moisture on your brush and they're fine, right? Like all of our paints, they work great right out of the bottle. So shouldn't be any struggle to getting them to work the way you want to at all. If you're finding a struggle, just try to don't thin them on the palette. Don't add water to them or anything like that. Just get your brush damp and then go get some paint and keep wetting your brush more if you need it to be a little less thick, more viscous or less viscous. I was compared to more. But if you need it to be runnier, just leave a little bit more water on your brush, meaning, I wipe my brush off on a paper towel. But metallics are generally thicker by nature because they have a physical component to the mica flake or aluminum flake in them, depending on the paint you're using. And but it doesn't take anything to break that. It doesn't cause any issues with painting with it generally.
Lumberjack Tim has a comment, Jason.
I'm sure he does.
I did mention when Chris was painting that plaid the other day that we've been bugging Fuse to paint hot pink plaid for us. So I'm not sure the Chris/Baby J hot pink plaid doesn't count. And then Mo says, been debating this myself.
What do you mean it doesn't count? They literally did it for you.
But they want it from the master.
It's not going to happen. I am not your Huckleberry.
Hey, I tried and failed. Just for you, chat.
I thought Baby J did a great job.
He did okay.
Oh, here we go.
He did all right.
Jordan killed it.
No free pub for
Jordan
Baby
killed
J.
it. You shush.
No free pub for Reprime Snip Snip. Mr. Sassy Frassy himself.
He is a little sassy from time to time.
He gets snippy, man. He'll like snap at you, just right out of the blue, just like. Whoo. He'll get you if you're not paying attention. Yes, Jordan did have a great workup. I did like his workup.
Oh, here we go.
For real, it was good. I take it all back. He's great. Mine was hot garbage. But it was good hot
You
garbage.
know what? I don't have a problem saying yours was pretty hot garbage.
Mine was the good kind of hot garbage because
fun
there
to
was
watch.
passion behind
In
it.
like a really weird masochistic.
There was passion behind it, and I didn't do it for myself. I did it for the people.
You did do it for the people, and that is honorable, Christopher.
That's all I have to do.
Honorable.
That's not even my job description, chat. So there you go. I worked
It actually
outside the
isn't
lines.
in his job description that he has to paint pink plaid. So
Yep.
it's only in his job description that he has to do what he promises the chat he'll do, and he stepped out of his way, out of his own well-being, so to speak, to say, you know what would be cool is if I attempted to do some pink plaid for chat.
That's right.
And we caught him in the lie because he never really intended to do it. And then he came back and realized the error of his ways, and he did it. He tried.
I came back.
I give you an E for effort.
No free pub. I'd take the F instead.
No free pub for that, Chris.
I won't take the E.
Gabe's gone, dude.
He's gone.
Gabe's
gone. If you are in the Las Vegas area this weekend, our team will be at LVO. We have some shows coming up. Chat. We have LVO, which is the 2nd through the 5th of October. Then you have SMC, Scale Model Challenge.
Too many acronyms. What is going on?
In Europe. I believe that one's in Holland.
Why can't they just name the show something like with a name? Why does it have to be like acronyms?
It's technically called Scale Model Challenge. I just reduced it.
Why don't they just say that?
SMC, SMC.
Why can't they just say that then?
Scale Model Challenge is the 18th through the 19th. And Spiel, Essen Spiel.
Essen?
That's how
Spiel in Essen.
Spiel. That one is I think it's the 23rd to the 26th.
Yeah, it's the following weekend.
I only know that because I had to rewrite those dates 100 times on my graphic I'm making for this.
He got all the dates wrong, and then he got the dates right, and then Mally comes, our director over in Europe, comes back and goes, so in Europe, we put the day before the month. And I'm like, well, you're right. Wrong.
What about, where's the year go? Anyway, we're going to be in a lot of places over the world in October, so you're going to have to deal with me quite a bit this month. And we're doing orcs, so I'll be painting orcs if I come on stream. And maybe I'll make Baby J paint an orc. But Baby J is going to be at TwitchCon. Another thing we're doing this month.
Holy crap.
We have 4 shows in October. 4 shows.
There's just too much going on.
That's a lot of shows, actually, in 4 months. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of time here at Monument, where we'll have many employees gone.
We don't even have enough people to field for all these shows. We're making it happen.
Yeah, we're making it happen.
They wanted me at TwitchCon teaching the class, and God, I wanted to be there, but we got to do SMC, and I have to be at SMC. And it's like, well, okay, that's not going to happen. So Baby J's doing TwitchCon. Mally, Allie, me, and Jen will be at SMC. Gabe, Mally, and Allie will be at Spiel.
It's Spiel, Jason.
That's what I said, Spiel.
No, it's more of a Spiel.
That's not correct.
That's pretty correct.
No, it's not correct. There's no
Spiel.
There's no like liquid L in German.
It's definitely a Spiel. Anyway, Artistic Outlaw. Chris, your outcome doesn't matter as much as your science attempt. Yes, that's your sincere attempt. Yes, that's right, Artistic Outlaw.
It's
Panic
the fact
Bomb.
that he tried for you,
Chris,
guys.
if you just used the airbrush, the hot pink plaid would have come out fine. I know, Panic Bomb, but I was trying to make a point that you don't necessarily need the airbrush. You do need the airbrush for that. I would say the way I was doing it probably would have been better, but I decided
that was the question
no.
I had. Does it look like you were trying to use a stencil with a dry brush?
No. The stippling actually came out fine. I was adding too much wetness.
You had all that paint leak right underneath all your tape.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the first rule of Fight Club.
What?
Don't dilute your paints when painting with a stencil.
Which I found out. So, science complete.
Chad, I'm sorry I wasn't here to protect you from that.
I don't think it was about protecting. I think it was about me exposing myself.
Hey, whoa, this is not that kind of stream.
1 second. Let me find my little
springy
sound.
Wait, I don't want to know what's coming next.
Chris, you could use the airbrush commercial Y to buy. Hey, yeah, there you go. Iterator, great idea. Anna Starkey says, do you guys ever sleep? Yes.
Yeah.
every once in a while on a blue moon. Have they tried scheduling their events around availability better, like everyone can share team calendars together or something? Yeah. We just have so many shows, Doomsday.
It's
and if you're talking about the shows,
it's very competitive marketplace for the shows.
It
and
is.
A lot of them just don't care. They just don't care.
And 2 of these shows, by the way, are also in Europe. So they definitely are on their own deal.
Yeah, they don't care about us.
But we care about them. And that's why we're going to be there.
That's why Jen and I are flying to the Netherlands.
Mally and
we have to
Allie.
plane, trains, and automobiles commence. We leave, and a day later we get to Amsterdam.
Are you going to Spiel too?
No, I'm not doing Spiel. Gabe is, because it's back-to-back.
Yeah.
Allie and Mally are doing
Right.
both. They are taking the van loaded with equipment and all of our products. They're going from our office in France to Eindhoven in the Netherlands.
Eindhoven.
Yeah, that's exactly how it's pronounced.
Eindhoven.
And then leaving Eindhoven and going to Essen, which is only about 2 hours away, maybe an hour and a half.
Lumberjack says they sleep well at night knowing we, the people, are stuffing our stockings with their products and that our bellies will be full from licking our brushes. Wow.
Whoa.
Lumberjack, that was extremely eloquent. Thank you.
Whoa.
I like that. We the people. Keep that going.
Whoa. Just because he says that, you let him get away with the rest of that nonsense?
No, I won't let him. Don't eat the paint. That's for legal purposes. Gravity, yes. Eschen, Spiel. Spiel 2025. Spiel. Be a great time. And that's how you. That's actually how you pronounce the. How you actually pronounce it. So don't let anybody tell you any different. Essen Spiel is great. Make sure to eat the Ashifushi Steakhouse. Cool.
What?
I know it says Argentinian, but I decided to make that a little bit more fun.
House or Schnitzel.
Oh, Schnitzel.
There's no steakhouse in Germany.
Would you like some more Schnitzengruben? No, thank you. 15's my limit on Schnitzengruben.
Schnitzengruben?
That's from Blazing Saddles. Oh no, thank you. 15's my limit on Schnitzengruben. Chris, we the people demand Chris, you Orc Speaky for Orc Challenge review. I won't. It's too much orc. Panic Bomb, I'll think about it. I'll do it for a minute. There you go. Chris, the language coach. Yeah, that's what they call me, Craig. That's definitely me. Definitely me.
What he did before here. So
I was a language coach.
One of the little known things about Christopher. Let me tell you a story.
I'm about to shut the stream down. I don't know what's about to happen.
So one of the little known facts about our dear Christopher.
Here you go. Dropping this bomb.
Is that we found him right training Tiger Woods how to play golf.
False. I've never done this before in my life.
When I pulled Tiger aside and I said, Tiger, I have a question. I was like, could you give me a quick little review
it's
of
Mr.
Christopher?
Woods to you.
You know, because I've been thinking that Christopher would be a really great addition to the Monument Hobbies team. And he goes, you know what, Jason, let me tell you. Christopher would be a fantastic addition to Monument Hobbies. Not only because he's a fantastic golfer and has made me who I am, but believe it or not, I didn't meet Christopher through golf. I met Christopher because he was my linguistics coach.
That's right. That's me.
It turns out Tiger was planning on being an attaché to the German chancellor and was trying to get his Deutsch all configured.
Excuse me, Mr. Woods. Excuse me, Mr. Woods. Excuse me, Mr. Woods. Excuse me. Mo said, called it. That was me. Yep, that's me. Live in Phoenix, Arizona. Making it through the day.
Making it through the day.
Flapjack, that got me. That was funny. Excuse me, Mr. Woods. Mr. Woods. I'd like to hire that man. Sarcastic Grandpa. Wad. Hello, Wad.
Hello, Wad.
I hope your move is going well.
Oh, that didn't sound very honest at all.
I hope your move is going well. Is that better?
That was a little more sincere. Because you put it to song.
I hope your move is going well. I hope your move is going well.
Hi ho the Dario, your move is going well.
You almost had me, but then I realized how I've been burnt by Chris before. John, what are you talking about? I've never burned a single person in my life. Never burned them. I take great pride in that.
He's more of a chop him into small pieces.
I'm more of just kill him dead. Just whatever that is. That like my lightning bolt that I just threw at that person.
Is that a lightning bolt sound? We had lightning yesterday, I thought. Or was it explosions yesterday? I never know with you.
No, that was speed. Like
oh, that was right. You were going fast. That's right.
That was me moving real quick. Hey, what colors are these wings going to be, Jason, says Adam?
White.
White? Nice. Oh, really? Like iridescent white?
No, I don't think so.
They're not wings. I know that sounds dumb, but they're not wings.
No, they're
right?
metal.
But the ones you did on Sanguinius are real wings.
Or feathers, yeah.
Feathers. Bronze, hashtag BronzeGate. Hey, bronze is very important for all workups. Henceforth, I will be using bronze in every single model that I use, or paint, or have, or mix up. I'm using bronze going here forth, hence. Man, I'm struggling today, chat.
Hey,
I thought you were
chat.
throwing a frog. Tadpole Jackson. I don't know what that means.
Is that an innuendo?
I'm throwing a frog? What I just did? That does no, come on. That's not even a frog.
Hey, baby, you want to go out and throw the frog?
I worry about Chris. Taylor Schmid, T. Schmid. Don't worry about me.
We all worry about
There's
Chris.
no time for that.
But Chris worries about us, so it's
Flapjack says, lightning bolts famously don't burn people. Thank you, Flapjack. No, the other one. Oh, Tadpole. Okay, I see. I don't even remember that song or that sound I just made up. It's already fleeted my brain.
Fleeted your brain.
Filleted. Faluted my brain. I will not have any sustenance, Craig. Speaking of sustenance,
welcome everybody.
We are doing our OSL September challenge review today at 3 p.m. Monument Standard Time.
Did you eat today, Chris?
Me? I had a protein bar.
Nice.
And a will to live.
Nice. I had a breakfast sandwich out of the freezer. I did not.
Did you cook it?
Mine did not come with the will to live.
Oh no!
So,
I had a protein bar. I had 2 protein bars today, and and some chips. Not the best, well balanced meal, but
what flavor of chip?
Just regular.
Just potato chips?
Yeah, those Jimmy John chips.
Oh, they didn't have any barbecue left?
No. Also, Chris, when Jason leaves, are you going to sneak a drop of bronze in all of his paints?
I will kill him.
No.
I murder, she wrote, is
or
the next thing that
maybe
happens.
I already have.
Is that why they're working so well today, Christopher? All of my paints seem to be working so much better, chat, and I don't know why.
Sometimes it only takes a drop of bronze. That's our new fragrance. It's
almost as if, and if I had to go out on a limb, I would say that it's almost as if there was some magic component, some magic ingredient in my paints today, Christopher.
The essence of the drop of bronze is really why you put it in there. It's a spiritual moment rather than like an actual, it's not it doesn't do anything for the color. It just does the thing for the color,
No, not at all, actually.
Let me repeat that.
What does that even mean?
It only takes 1 drop of bronze to make your workup a spiritual event.
Oh, okay. Now I understand what you meant.
Does that make sense? Have I been more clear? I'm just saying. Is it love? No. Gravity? Yes. Maybe a little bit of love. Mm-hmm. Or you could substitute your little bit of love for a drop of bronze. See what I did there?
Is that so that you can use your love efficiently?
Whatever it means to you, man.
Oh,
there's no rhyme. There's no reason. You just gotta.
The dude, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Just throw some bronze in there. Just a drop.
Man.
You don't even. It doesn't even need to be a drop. It could be just like a. What's smaller than a drop, chat?
A smidge.
Not even. Smaller than a
A
smidge.
pinch?
Smaller than a pinch, but bigger than micro. Right? There you go. That's all I got for you,
I
chat.
don't know what he's talking about.
Add some
chat.
bronze.
He lost me a while back, chat. I have no idea.
An ode? An ode to bronze, John. Thank you.
That's his biography.
An ode to bronze. No, mine is an ode to chicken.
Ode to chicken.
Ode to chicken.
Where have I heard this? Did you tell me this?
Yes, it's one of my art pieces that I've made.
And what's your business book?
My business book?
Yeah.
It's called Basic Business.
Basic Business. That's right.
If you guys all go to basicbusiness.business, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Is this a real thing?
You can go to basicbusiness.business right now.
And what is there?
You'll see.
I don't want to see.
You could go there.
I'm painting.
Some would say I'm always working on myself, chat. And we're always under construction. And basic business is always basic business. Very, very different. This is a serious business painting stream. And Jason is painting up non-metallic gold. Jason, what color is that?
Gold.
No. What color are you using?
Oh, yellow. Orange, yellow. I showed it on the stream for those that were paying attention, unlike my highly paid producer.
Me?
Yeah.
Houdini says, I found that for some people, the fewer words they use, the better understood they are. Now, Houdini, I don't know if that was super eloquent compliment or if you just buried me alive publicly.
I feel like some people are better understood when they shut the hell up.
Houdini, you are banned. You are fired. Houdini number 7's about to disappear. Quablang. That was me banning you, but I didn't do it.
He doesn't have it.
I'll let you have that one, Houdini.
That was a good one.
And he was gone in a flash. It was like magic. Quick, someone get Chris some Post-it notes. I don't need any Post-it notes. This is all in my brain. Come on, Chris. This is why they pay you the medium bucks.
This is why you pay the medium bucks.
Wow, Ryan, here's what I'll say to you. Go to basicbusiness.business. You guys will love it. Yeah, really well paid. Basic Business is my retirement plan, by the way.
That's what he keeps telling me. I have not gone to see the site. So.
No, you don't need to go. This is definitely me. The less I say, the better, generally, says Wad. Wad, no, the more you speak up and out, the more fun you'll have in life.
Wad, you are our voice of reason. We respect you.
Why use so many words when few do good? I don't know if I can get into that.
That's like Blake, why use little word? Why use big word when little word work?
Get that boy some burn cream. Houdini, you're banned. I don't know if you know this, but I am. If I had one ban right now, if I had the power, you would be it.
Houdini.
No. Stay, please. Yeah, we love you. Come on in. Water's fine. Basic Business sounds like a pyramid scheme. No. Absolutely not.
I feel like it is a pyramid. That's why I haven't ever gone to the website.
No, I can't get into it right now. It would take too much time.
This is what he says every time.
No. It's please. We'll stop there. We can't talk about this. It is such a huge topic of discussion that I could talk for literally hours about it. It's just not for the workplace.
I don't understand.
Not for this workplace.
This is literally a business.
Did you do the magic eraser thing? No, but I would like to try. I was going to try a magic eraser with Noosh. Because
Christopher, this is literally a business.
This is a business.
If there was any place that a book called Basic Business would be necessary and relevant, it would be here.
Yes, that is true. Gabe said he cried when he read the first 5 chapters. So,
how many chapters are there?
Currently or planned?
Yes.
Though there's 20 chapters in my book.
20 chapters.
Yes.
And how many are written?
If I told you that, here's what I'll say. For anybody who's interested,
is anybody buying any of this?
I give them the first 5 chapters, and if they can get through the first 5 chapters, you're in. And if you understand what the book actually is talking about at chapter 5, you have been inundated with basic business. I never actually wanted to talk about basic business on this stream. That was one of my main goals in life, never to talk about it. But I do plan on becoming a millionaire from this, so just bear with me, chat. Speaking of bearing with me.
Chat, I apologize profusely.
What? What are you talking about?
For everything, always, that happens on this stream.
We are so we are so professional. We are so business-oriented and professional. We get stuff done.
One of us does.
Jason is on a... Yeah, I know. I do a lot here, you know, Jason. The current mission that Jason is currently on, if you are just now joining in, Jason has been on a warpath to finishing his Blood Angels army to a beautiful level, I would say. And it is an epic journey. You can go back to our live tab and check out all of the VODs that he's been painting the Blood Angels on. A lot of non-metallic metal tips. Because
we are idiots.
No, I think it's the opposite. I think this is a Mount Everest style project.
It really is.
And I would say,
that is a great way to describe it. This is my Mount Everest climb.
I would say,
is getting this army done.
Yeah.
At this level, even with the shortcuts we're taking and the stuff we're speeding up, is still it's gonna look phenomenal when we're done. But it's a haul.
I would say you are at the middle of the mountain and you have just gotten to the part where you're halfway up.
You think?
I would say you're halfway up.
I think all the models need at least a prime coat on them before we can say we've met the halfway point.
You're right.
Like, I don't think we're at whatever that's called, base camp. We haven't made it to base camp
Once you get all of those primed, then I feel like you're halfway.
I would say that probably feels all right.
The basic business. No, we're not talking about this anymore. I am getting us back on painting.
Here we go.
And we are doing our OSL challenge for September at 3 p.m. So stick around for that. If you are new here, we do a Discord challenge every month. It's a fun challenge, right? So it's not competitive. We just want you to get in there and paint. If you're not a part of our Discord, you can go to this link right here. Boop.
And become a part of our Discord.
We are doing Orktober WAG this month. Noosh, another curious question from Gravity. It is white in the bottle, and mixing it with a color seems to lighten it up. Mixing a color with white, basically. Does Noosh lose this while drying?
Yes.
Noosh... Okay.
Yeah,
or
it
does
doesn't
the
have
color...
any tint strength to it at all. It's not a color.
Yes. It loses is what you meant. Yes.
Yeah. The medium itself will have a little bit of a fake opacity to it in coloring, but it has no color.
Go check out my example that I did with my Morkanauts last week. You can see how it goes on and then how it dries overnight. I also did a lot of Noosh. That's why I said overnight. I had to really let it dry, but it probably dried faster than that. You could see it drying while I was working on some of it. So I did put a lot on there now. What's a WAG? It's WAG. Adam says, if you use the new purple primer for this workup, would you miss out on much of not having much of that Payne's Gray base?
The purple would work well, too. I don't think you miss anything. It would be different, right? You would have a more, a warmer shadow, so it's not going to offset the red like the Payne's Gray does the same way, but it still will do a good contrast for you, so I think it would look great.
Jade says, happy to report that Chris, Monument Hobbies, did not prevent Chuck and I from getting our Nova Orange.
What?
I failed.
Where in the world did you get Nova Orange?
Did you, order it from the site where it's ready, available all the time for you and Chuck, Jade?
Did you...
Is that what you did?
Wow,
Whoa! That was more for Chuck than for you, Jade. Pass it along.
I think he just gave Chuck the what for.
You mean like that website that you can go to and order all of our products instantaneously? You mean that one? Yeah.
Chuck just got told.
It arrived today along with the new primers. Ooh.
Awesome.
You're going to love it.
Hope you guys are doing well, Jade.
Stan says, Chris, speaking about Noosh, I fixed my issue. I brought another bottle, and using that one doesn't rub paint from underneath. Maybe a bad bottle? It does not seem to be... It does not... It does do some traveling to get to me. Interesting. Yeah, like I said, Stan, definitely send something to support, but it shouldn't do that.
So, Stan, where are you at? Aren't you in the UK?
Yeah.
You just buy from Element Games.
Well, I'm glad it's working for you.
Yeah, no kidding. But if you had a bottle that wasn't working correctly, that sucks.
Did you try a new technique, Stan, that maybe might have done it for you? Jade says, Chuck is currently on the bike.
Likely story.
Jade says, yep, the one I kept saying, let's just order it. Ah, the voice of reason in the household.
Oh, you only have to hang out with them for a little bit to understand that's the case.
I could see Chuck over on the bike. No. I need it from a show. Sark says, I just ordered the Evo bag. I'm so excited to be able to take all my paints to my LGS to hobby with the boys.
It is so great.
What a good feeling. And it's so
great.
clean, too, when you walk in like a pro. Everybody else has got their little dinky art bin, and you're like, let me show you how it's done. Quabam.
Well, bam.
If you got the big one, the Evo, right? That back pocket space, be prepared
It's like a bottomless
to have
hole.
way more space than you thought you did. You can fit a boatload in there.
It's a portable
I'm not
black
even
hole.
kidding. It's awesome. Well, that's cool. Alton said, I just did some Sanguinary Guard, and it is just me, or is it just me, or is Procro Rich Gold have some peach or pink tones to it?
No, not really. I mean, it has a warm, like, orangish magenta to it, but it won't...
Yeah.
You wouldn't ever really notice it, I don't think.
Alton, just a pro tip, you could always add a touch of bronze to it to make it
just
really
stop
pop.
With that. You're
you know?
telling people the wrong thing. This is a learning channel, Christopher.
Jason.
We don't give bad information here.
I don't think that's bad information. I think that's enlightening truth. You like that?
No.
Just a touch of bronze, Chat. That's all it takes.
Don't put bronze in everything, Chat. As he cackles.
No, it's good, man. I do it. You can do it too. Just a little bit. And I'm talking like a pinch, Chat. Not even a pinch. Whatever's smaller than a pinch.
Don't do this.
An ode to bronze. There you go.
Don't do it.
Anointed by a touch of bronze. No, we will be making a fragrance called Touch of Bronze.
Don't do it, Chat. Don't listen to the man.
I'm going to get onto our product team so that I can start making the real suggestions. Boys, hear me out.
Oh, here we go.
Fragrances. A touch of bronze? How about a touch of millions? Because that's what we're going to be having.
Right. It'll be like the Mad Men
Yes. There
sessions. Hershey's chocolate. You don't sell Hershey's because it's chocolate. You sell Hershey's because it's the love of a father and a son.
There it is. Boom. Tech Elf, I add bronze to everything now. So good.
You freaking drank the Kool-Aid. Weirdos.
Welcome to enlightenment.
Weirdos.
Now just...
Well, this is how to slow an army down. This has taken me an hour just to get some yellow on one dude. Good thing there's only 70 more of these guys.
No, but this is good, Jason. Brent says, I used bronze today.
Don't egg him on. Come on.
This is
Come on,
good.
Chad. Help me out here.
All right, everybody, hear me out. A touch of bronze. Not only just for the love in your life, but for the passion and will to live. does your workup need some spiritual guidance? Does your paint mix feel flat in emotion? Add a Touch of Bronze by Dolce & Gabbana. No, by Adult J and Cabana.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Anyway, that's it for me.
This is horrible.
Good night.
Horrible.
I'm serious business now.
Horrible.
Panic Bob. A Touch of Bronze. It works 60% of the time.
All the
every
time. 60% of the time, it works all the time.
Iterator, there's not one word of bronze in that book, by the way.
In Basic Business?
Yes.
Well, then you're missing out.
I will say this confidently. Basic Business is written for people like Jason. That's it.
I feel like it's like his Jim Jones manifesto.
Jason, I'll tell you this right now.
Here we
will
go.
not put down that book once he starts reading it.
Here we go.
I would bet money on it.
I believe the book doesn't exist. That's what I believe.
Has Gabe told you about this? He read the first 5 chapters.
He did say he read it, but I feel like you guys are both leading me into something.
No. Because guess who was saying the same stuff before? Literally what you're saying right now. He's like, this isn't real. What are you talking about?
Gabe?
Yeah. And then I sent it to him and he's like, I understand everything about you now. And there you go.
Like from a clinical psychology point of view?
You'll understand.
Oh boy. But yet I've never gotten a link, chat. So as much as I will understand, he will not share it.
No, you're going to have to be at a polished tone because you're a different kind of reader. It'll have to be at a certain level to grab your kind of attention.
Then
I
Gabe?
think you will like it, yes.
Then Gabe, what are we saying about Gabe right
I
this
say,
minute?
well, Gabe is able to...
Here we go.
How do I want to
Can we get a BS meter emote? Chad, I think we need a BS meter.
It took a while for me to get Gabe into it. It took a while. So when he was ready, I sent it to him. You're not ready. It's not about being ready. It's about being open.
I feel like we need a BS meter emote. That's what I feel like.
Would you bet your 2%? Says Craig. No, I would not bet my 2%. I would bet my 100%.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell HR we were docking your pay now.
Michael Holt says, so what's the workup on gold so far?
Did he say it just like that?
Yes, that's exactly how Michael Holtz just said it.
Right now it is literally just dark yellow-green as a base and orange-yellow over the top of that, and thin glazed layers building up to brightness to kind of lock in my values, where my brightness, where my dark reflections are going to be. Just real simple banging paint around. It doesn't give a lot of contrast at this stage because the next stage where we put the pale yellow on is where all the metal comes from, right? That's it. As when you're doing a 3-color workup for gold like this, it's something where you're getting your darkness kind of seated in the first 2 layers, and then it's that punch of brightness that gives all the shine to it, right? So this is our finished color scheme. This is a Veteran Assault Marine, and then this is a Praetorian Guard, the way I built my Praetorians, so that they are kind of sanguinary. They were supposed to be sanguinary guards, but then the list didn't really work with the sanguinary guards, so they're red armored sanguinary guards is what they are. There you go.
Praetorian Guards. I do love this workup.
It's simple,
no
super
gold.
simple.
No bronze in this gold.
It's just supposed to be a really good way to get gold running quick. Because if you're painting an army of 80 dudes or 70 dudes or whatever we have, you don't have time to be doing 6 colors on your non-metallic metal.
Houdini, you're really doubling down on me today, aren't you? If you only had a producer to overlay to show the current colors on screen. Hoodoo-doo-doo-doo-doo-boopity-doop.
Hey, professional chat.
Little Billy hasn't been around, so I have to pick more people to...
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. Little Billy, are you lurking? I don't know. I haven't seen Little Billy. My nemesis. I have to just deal with the rest of you.
Was he here when we were out of town, or did you scare him off?
No.
Were you rude to him?
No, I haven't seen Little Billy in a while. I don't know what to do with myself. Without Batman, crime has no punchline.
Yeah. Exactly.
What am I doing without Batman? Well, it's just about time, Jason.
I don't care.
You do. You will and you have to. We're going to be
I won't dance.
switching over to the OSL September Challenge review here momentarily once Jason gets to a stopping point. And by stopping point, I mean a point. He will never stop.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yes, Houdini, on a real note, I have been looking into that. Just you wait. Where I have a massive keyboard button overlay where I can change the color at will. Jason, attend your throne.
Bye. Wish me well.
Attend your throne.
I need a snack.
You can go get a snack.
I have snacks right here.
Oh. You have a snack?
I have two. You want one? You want a Rice
No,
Krispie treat?
I'm good.
You want a Rice Krispie treat?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay.
I
I
need
know
a,
you're good, but
I need
would
a-
you like a Rice Krispie treat?
I'm fine. Thank you, though, Jason. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Are you sure you don't want a Rice Krispie treat?
I don't want one.
I could give you a Rice Krispie treat.
Oh. Let me bring that camera down.
I think it's the chair is low.
Oh, you can bring the chair up. There you go. Perfect. Look at that, Jason. Pay a professional. Can you see, Jason?
Can I see what?
Can you see the imagery?
No?
Your eyes are closed.
Oh. Yeah.
That's not allowed to be that silly.
Yeah. That what?
Welcome in, everybody.
That shouldn't be that silly.
Yeah, I don't know why it got me.
It's always funny. It's like pee-pee poo-poo jokes.
No. False.
If you open your eyes, you could see.
Not for the pee-pee poo-poo.
What?
Welcome to Object Source Lighting OSL September Discord Challenge.
What?
Here we go. Jason, are you ready?
Say what?
Jason and I are going to pick winners
I
at
have
the
a
very end.
Today's stream is sponsored by Nature Valley
No.
with crispy, creamy strawberry wafer bars.
Jason, you're not allowed. No free pub for these
I thought it was all
people.
about product placement.
No.
Oh.
Did Chris just make Jason dance, Craig? Kind of. No, not really.
What happened to my monument backdrop?
Gabe had to take it to the show.
Oh.
He's like, Chris, I got to take this for the show. On the day of the review? Oh, I was so sad.
He
Here we
stole
go.
our banner.
Sharky starting off strong. Ooh.
He stole our banner, chat.
Guess what? I'm going to say Object September Lighting.
Holy
Flapjack.
sword.
We are doing
I really
Objects-
like this.
This is great.
Very, very good sketchy work, right? I love how the OSL falls on there too. It's one of those where I will tell you, and you'll hear me say this anytime we do OSL. The one thing I can guarantee is I'll say certain things quite a bit of the time. One of the things with doing the OSL is look at the brightness of the color of light on the object. In this case, this sword is on screen, we'll call it, right? It's in the frame. So the sword is part of the mini. So you know you're painting the actual light source. So as you paint the light source, look at the brightness of the light source and the colors you use on it. And whatever colors are on the light source, the first reflection, meaning that reflection, especially on cloth and armor like you have here, that first reflection needs to be a darker version of the colors on the sword. The brighter blue that you've used, like on his right arm and on the armor and on the leg, is too bright in this case. Even if you meant for the sword, if the sword was meant to be like that bright that it would give that color, then he would pretty much be doused in blue. So in this case, I would darken the blue a little bit that you use on the armor to give the same reflected quality, and then bring the brightness back with your edge highlight. What I'm not seeing here is a lot of edge highlight. I'm seeing some like on the belt, but you want to go with a darker light glaze of blue on the armor and then a brighter blue like the color you have along the edges so it catches that brightness. But great job. All of the light is placed correctly. I really like the way you've done this. I like the back shot that you took here too, because there's only the light that's visible, like where it's wrapping around the edges of the base up by his feet, and then of course the little sliver of sword that you can see too. So great job on this. I really
Inspired by Obi-Wan. Nice, Sharky.
I like it. Yeah,
That's cool.
I like it.
Game delay.
And look at that. On
Ooh.
cue, game delay shows us what I was saying.
Nice.
Notice how none of the highlights on the body, like the whatever she is, have anywhere near the coloring of the flame of the hair, right?
Very
Now, the thing I would
interesting
want to
model.
see here, in contrast to what we talked about before, is I would want to see more of that orangish reddish on the shoulders and such, if we're really talking about OSL.
Like here?
Like if her hair is the light source, it's the flame, then I would want to see those shoulders be less of the skin tone that you've chosen, because we have a lot of magenta in the skin tone. Whereas her top gives me a little bit of orangish red in the top, right? Which might be trying to pull off the color of the fabric. The skin, I would want to see a little bit more of that light on. You may have some there. Remember, all I can see is what the photo shows us. But I would want to see a little bit more of that orangish flame color on the areas surrounding, the hair, like the shoulders is really the only spot.
This is great.
Yeah.
Gerald Ginkgo. Ooh. This is clean.
Yeah.
This is really clean.
So Ginkgo's got a good light source that is our primary lighting. This is, rather than being like what we would consider a standard OSL where there's a light source off screen, or a fireball or flame hair or something like this. It's the ambient lighting that we've applied to the scene in general. This goblin is in like a cave or a dark spot, and then the light, which is kind of like a torch light, is the only thing that's lighting the model up, right? We've got that kind of bluish gray desaturation into the shadows. And then the only place where we see vibrant color is where the light is hitting it, the green of the face. The fact that the leather goes from that bluish gray into a brownish leather on the hood. And then, of course, the armor on the front. So this is really good for an ambient lighting. I don't really consider this OSL as much because OSL is intended to be not ambient light. It's intended to be a secondary light source from the main light on the model. So when we talk, and this is just a nitpicky
technicality
thing, right? A technicality. This is great ambient lighting, and by all intent and purpose, it is object source light. But that's like saying object source light is the sun, and you're doing shadows on the model.
Oh.
So in this case, I don't get a sense of a secondary light source, because all of the rest of the body fades to that kind of desaturated blue-gray, which tells me darkness. And then the ambient light is the light source that brings color onto it. So great job in manipulating that, but an OSL would bring a colored light onto the model that is a juxtaposition of the colors the model is under in its ambient normal light. Right? Not always the case, so we're not going to dock you here. I just want to make it clear to most people that the type of OSL, when we use it in that terminology, is going to be the power sword shining back on the Space Marine's armor. Right?
Huh.
There will still be shadow and highlight to the Space Marine armor as if the OSL didn't exist, so you'll still have the color of the hood and the shadow and everything. Now imagine if what you did on this was add a source of like red magical light from below. Right? That would kind of give the OSL, because what we're looking for is the interpretation of light falling across an object that's already lit from a primary source. That's what OSL really is. And the way we talk about it in the miniature art world. Think about the plasma glow on the gun, the flaming sword and the flame coming back at the model when the model is already in a light, right? So you're having to mix lights and give the feeling of that glow of that object, so that you're forcing the viewer to see that, oh, there's something magical or special happening here, rather than just the temporary light. But this use of ambient light on the model is fantastic for setting mood, and really getting the model to feel dramatic. And great job on that. Like the first shot, that money shot on the left, spectacular.
Yeah.
spectacular. The glow, the warmth of the glow on the goblin's face there, whereas as you move into shadow, there's more of that bluish undertone, and then when you get into the full shadowed left side of his face, it looks completely like he's in shadow. So the desaturated use of color on the blue-gray side is fantastic. Just a great job, Ginkgo, all the way around. Not what I would typically consider OSL.
John Ginkgo number 2.
Holy, now you did it.
That's great.
What in the heck undead orc am I looking at?
I know he's getting like shocked by the. I think he's getting shocked by the lightning, and it's doing like that skeleton.
I love how
thing.
it's arcing out the bottom of his foot.
Yeah.
Right, head to toe. Right.
That's cool. Yeah.
I love it.
This is very cool.
Yeah, I love it.
He's like getting shocked. Like,
Yeah, so this is what we're talking about when we say like traditional OSL. Again, be very careful how you blend it. Make sure that the lighting color is dark enough to not, and done in a translucent enough manner to let the colors underneath it blend with it, right? There, if the light becomes opaque, like the blue on the top of the leg and the top of the arms is looking here, then it tends to look like another material and not light. So be careful with that. Go back to the other one. This is a unique one, right? Because when we look at how the light has been manipulated on the hat, and notice how it gives us the hat color, and then it blends and smooths itself into the blue-gray. There's no abrupt stop there. We get a nice blend. That's what light does, right? So it can become harder light when it's angular, or when the light is so bright that it overtakes everything else. Like you can imagine like a spotlight, right? And it just creates really stark shadows on things. But if it's an illumination like this that isn't doing that, and it becomes more of a global light, like the lightning would be actually, right? Go back to the next one. Right on this one, then be very careful with how you're covering all of your color with that blue, right? You're giving me the idea that I'm seeing that the light is hitting the right spots, but it's a little overly opaque. So it looks like another material. It looks like blue paint on the model. And you want to make sure that you're building up from at least a transition between the green and the blue where they mix to where the blue becomes super bright at the point of impact of the lightning strike kind of a thing.
just like a mini painter.
Tree, rainbow. What am I looking at? What's a rainbow?
Is it coming from this thing?
Oh,
It is. See
oh,
that?
check it out. It's like a spotlight,
Yeah, it's a spotlight.
right?
It's coming from this. So you see that, Jason, right there? That robot?
It's hard with the bottle behind
Yeah,
it, but yes, I see it in the other picture. It's kind of like a drone of some sort.
Yeah, it took me a second.
It's like a drone, and this is the light as it's hitting the ground. It has kind of like a kaleidoscopic light to it.
That's super cool.
I love this concept. I
That's
would
so
say
cool.
that the hard thing to pull off is the multicolored light, but I get where you're going. Great manipulation of it. I think that I would have brought color somehow. I see the rock, though, right? Because we've got the color on the rock is really cool.
Yeah, like this.
But here's where this is great because we're getting to talk about a lot of the ways that light plays on objects. Notice how on the rock, and I'd love to see a more close-up picture of this. The color on the rock is just as opaque and intense as the color on the dirt. And we have to start thinking in terms of how different materials absorb and reflect light. The rock would be more reflective, so the rock would have brighter light on it in general. And the sand or the dirt would be more absorptive because there's more particles there, so the light gets lost in between the particles of sand and dirt. And so it doesn't reflect, or when it does reflect, it's reflecting off of tiny particles of dirt and going off in all sorts of directions, whereas a rock is a much larger surface and more cohesive, so there's more chance for light to bounce off the rock to your eye in an intense manner, so you get more vibrancy out of it, whereas the dirt scatters it and makes it less intense. So I would tone down the colors on the sand and leave the rock the way it is. Also, like we just talked about, less opacity overall on the light because it starts to look like a material, like spilled paint on the ground. You're always fighting with letting enough of the color of the material the light is laying over show through, or at least blend with the light. It doesn't have to show through, right? Green skin with blue light on it won't be the same green skin showing through. It'll be a blend of the blue and the green, or yellow and green if you're doing a yellow light on it. But I love this concept.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Right? I love this concept. I think shape of light is one thing to take into account here. Whenever you have imagine if it's a round lighting orifice, like a beam coming out that's round, then when it hits, it forms like a bullet shape, like a half elliptical shape. If you ever seen headlights as they hit the ground, they don't stay round in the shape of the light. They spread outward from where they hit and spread. So it gives you kind of a bullet shape that goes away from the object. So I think maybe leaning into that and looking at the shape of light, and it feathers out and becomes less and less intense as it goes away. So that fade gives you a lot of that interpretation when the eye looks at it of what it is. But yeah, I think it's a great concept.
Cool.
I want to know if there's like a model that goes on here, right? I feel like there's something bigger happening. We haven't seen the completed because there's like a footprint, like a dinosaur footprint there. So I'm interested to see what actually happens with this whole scene that you're building up. This is a cool thing. You guys are tackling some pretty crazy situations.
Yeah. Dyslexia made it number 2.
Some pretty crazy stuff. I love this water. I know that's not what this is about, but I love the way the water has got like the purples and the ultramarines in it and the nice little light where it's lapping around the wood of the ship. That's great manipulation of the water. I think that's awesome use. I'm assuming that we're supposed to see some glow in the runes, perhaps?
I think so, like around here.
I think, unfortunately, it gets lost in the scale of the model. I think that the model scale wants to see a brighter OSL, something that would play on it more. But I mean, the runes really stick out to me because of coloring, right? They kind of have that kind of fluorescent yellowish, yellow-green kind of feel. Yeah. And they look like they're etched and maybe glowing from the inside of the wood. That's a tough one to pull off where it has a big enough effect on a model of this scale, right? Because unfortunately, the runes don't cast their light onto any other part of the model. So we're not getting to see the effect of the light source. So the source is the rune. What is being lit by the rune is kind of not in the scene. There's a chance of the shield where that shield overlays the rune to the right. There's a chance that you could use some really good OSL there with the rune glowing into the metal of the shield. But on something like this, unfortunately, it just wants to have more area that the light reflects back off of so you can see that. The glowing rune itself is the source. What we want to do is see the light bouncing off of something else around it. But I love it. The great job on the water. I really love the water. Sorry, that's not what this is about, but the water's awesome.
Man.
And again, models like that make me want to know that, is that a piece of terrain or is that something that there's another model standing on the bow there as the ship goes down? There's a lot of storytelling in a lot of these minis I'm seeing, which I love.
Man.
All right, here we go. So now, perfect. This one is a great example of multiple OSL light sources here, right? Yeah. Because we have the green lamps on the wall, and then we have the intrusion of this emergency lighting through the door onto this dog, cat, ferret, whatever it is, dog.
I think it's a dog.
Yeah.
Like a little corgi or something.
Yeah, it's like a corgi or something, right? But the all these pictures are really great, right? Because the drama that's created with the shadow of the dog, the directionality of the light, the door covering and giving that lighting just the ability to come in at that sliced angle. The fact that the footer of the door casts a shadow so the light doesn't start immediately after the door frame is great. Just a great job here. Right?
Yeah.
The lamps on the wall are always tough, right? Because the way that they glow is from the center, and they won't spread out maybe as far. That's always just based on how they're modeled, right? Because the intent of that lamp is to throw light outward. So there's a world where there could be a little bit of green, like on the top of the dog on the shadowed side, right? Which I'm not seeing. So there's an opportunity for that. It just depends on how bright you actually want those green lights to be. But
where it would be spilling more?
Yeah, where you'd have a little bit more of that spill where those two lights start fighting together. But that's just an artistic choice. I really like what I'm seeing here.
Cool. Speed Cheeser, the Punisher.
Always a great model to use.
I was just about to say, this is a very good example.
Yeah,
for
always a great model to use. This is a great example of how the blue darkens or is used in a more or less opaque, more thinned down manner and glazed over like the front of his jacket there, so that the light on the reflected light on his jacket is never as bright as the light coming from the Tesseract, except right up by the hand where it almost touches or does touch on the sleeve into the cube.
Yeah.
you want to stage your light to where it goes from bright. If there is something that almost touches the light source, like the sleeve against the cube, then that can be nearly as bright as the light the cube is emanating. And then you immediately want to start dimming it as you work away from it. And how fast you go from bright to dim is going to tell the brain how intense that light is. If you dim it very quickly, then the light is not very bright. If you let the light do like what's happening here, run all the way down the sleeve, and then it starts dimming like at the elbow, and then a little bit of brightness on his face and a little bit of brightness on the front of the jacket, then it shows that it has a fairly intense light, but because it doesn't reach the opposite shoulder and doesn't go down further, you know that it's still kind of a what I would call a warm glow. Like a candle light doesn't throw for, hundreds of feet. It really stays in a tight sphere around the object, and this has done a great job of that. Because, you have to also realize that there's enough light in the area, ambient light, like sunlight, he's indoors, outdoors, whatever it is. There's enough light other than the Tesseract to give you good color saturation for, like, his red head. Mm-hmm. And so that's always something you take into account, too. We saw a good job with Ginkgo doing what happens when you don't have a lot of ambient light and the only light is what you're showing on the model in that kind of warm sunlight coming through a crack method. Everything else goes into desaturated shadow. Here, where you have the Red Skull's head being red, there's enough light in the room without the Tesseract to show good color. And so the Tesseract can't have a lot of OSL in the frame. Otherwise, it has to be more intense than the light in the room, and then the whole model would be blue and less of it would be red. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Great job,
Martin Link.
All right, what do I got here? I got the dwarf with the... you know what? I love that his beard is bicolored. There's so many of these models that are coming up where I'm like, there's some really neat stuff going on here.
Is the light coming from this, I believe?
I see some light on the sphere, it looks like, on his fingers.
And then here's light here, right? See, the light's coming from there.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait. It's not that his beard is partly yellow.
No, it's the light. It's being lit up by this in his hand.
So the globe in his hand... is throwing yellow light?
I think so.
Okay.
Or just light.
Okay.
But it would probably be blue.
Well, I don't know, because I don't know what the object is that he's holding. It could be a solid thing that has a light coming out of it.
Yeah.
I'm thrown off a little bit by what I can't see in this picture.
Yeah.
Right? I can't see everything, but I'm feeling like maybe what's happening because when Chris points out that there's an area of what he's carrying that has the wood color and his fingers have the real coloring to them.
Yeah.
Right?
This right here. See that?
Yeah, but now it makes me wonder like what's happening with the yellow and the green on his face.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe it's like a hard, it almost like it's a spotlight coming from somewhere.
Yeah. If it was a light that was going to make if that's the real color of his beard is yellow, the skin tone and all it's doing is giving you that color, then I would want a little bit more warmth in the lighting on the wood and the fingers holding the thing there, right? Would be the only thing that I would kind of say. Because it looks like the wood doesn't have any warmth to it at the level that the yellow of his beard does. So I would want you to add some color into the wood to warm it up or desaturate the yellow on the beard a little bit and give me more darkness around the model.
Yeah.
But I think I get from the second picture what you were going with, and it does have kind of a glow going to it. The direction of the light is correct. If the thing in his hand is intended to be blue, because I see some overspill of blue on his fingers, then, of course, we would need to get some blue on those lights on the side of the face and on the wood. But I'm digging the very kind of pinpoint glow that's happening where it creates a sphere of light on the wood, if I'm seeing that right. So I apologize if I'm not seeing it perfectly.
Paint liquor. Soli, yes, we do a Discord challenge every month, so that link I just put in there is what we are reviewing today.
This is fantastic.
I love this. See, the light's coming from here,
yeah,
right?
I
And
mean,
it's very blocky.
There's a lot to talk about here. The fact that you've done kind of the very low, if almost zero blended, cell-shaded Batman, which is awesome.
Yeah.
The miniature's just awesome. The metallic on the bat signal is awesome.
Uh-huh.
So your non-metal and all of the work you've done with your paint work here is just phenomenal. The light is exactly what I was talking about earlier when I said, a spotlight would generate enough to give you very hard edges on how that light is there. It doesn't blend as much. There would still be some blend on the cloth versus the harder stuff. So maybe a little bit more blend on the cape, but not a whole lot. And then I love the hard light on the underside of the arm. I love the fact that you have taken into account that the slits in the body of the light are also giving light.
Like
there.
hitting this.
I think there would be a little bit more glow on his right foot because he's kind of standing over one of those lamps, but I can't see the dimension of the model, so you might have nailed it. There is some on the sole of the shoe there, but the light on the inside of the cape to the right there is great. So just really good understanding of the light here. I love this. I may have liked to have seen you take the outer edge of the cape, the outside of the cape, right, and his cowl, and given it less blue. To signify that everything outside of, the cape is is encapsulating, him and the cape are kind of encapsulating the bat signal. So the outside of the cape could stand to have been a lot more desaturated, moving towards a darker blackish color. Same with the cowl. And then it really shows that the light on the inside body, torso, and everything is really generated by that proximity to the bat signal. That's the only thing I can say here. It's fantastic work. It's a great looking model.
Yeah, Paint Liquor. You crushed it.
Great job.
Colm.
Now, wait a minute. Wasn't this one in last month's?
I think he did another one.
I love it.
Yeah, I believe, Colm, correct me if I'm wrong, you did another one of these guys, and you added this fire in this one.
These are great.
So,
yeah, the dual light source again, because we've got like the warp stone gun, the sniper rifle, and the glow that it's causing as it hits back against like the shield and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun.
Colm said this is a new one.
Nice. I love it. It's a third one. Holy crap.
Well, yeah.
You have to have a lot of these in your army, right?
You got a lot of rats, probably.
Yeah. So I'm digging what I'm seeing. I'm a little curious because the way the green light on the front of the shield just goes from green to nothing when it hits that rope is a little odd. The lighting's really cool. If the brightness that you have on the shield is of equal value as the light source itself, which is pretty close, right? When you look at the Warpstone bullet, it's brighter because it has that edge highlighting that takes it brighter. But when you look at how bright the front of the shield is and how far away the shield is from the light source, which is the bullet, right, is my understanding.
I believe so.
Yeah. So the bullet at the very far left of this thing is your light source. One of the first things is that the smoke trail behind the bullet, the shadows are done opposite to the way they should be if the light is coming from the bullet. Now, you can tell me if I'm wrong here. The light may be coming from the barrel of the gun, right? But the barrel of the gun is highlighted with the brightness to the left, shadow to the right. When the bullet's to the left, it makes me think that the bullet is the source of the light. It's brightening up the barrel, right? The problem is that the smoke is between the bullet and the barrel, so the smoke would be lit with the bright to the left, dark to the right. The front of the barrel might not have as much shine to it because the smoke is keeping the light from getting through the smoke to the barrel. There would then be a halo of darkness around the barrel onto the shield, and then the brightness of the shield would start further away from the gun and would envelope a lot more of the rope and the skull and stuff that are there. But these are real technical things. And the only reason I'm going this deep is because of the effort you've put in on it, because the model looks fantastic, right? Don't ever get me wrong. So don't ever sacrifice coolness for reality, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if you want to have your OSL really, really go past that looks cool to the discerning eye being able to go, that's rad, then those are the things you need to take into account, is determine what the light source is. And I think I'm right. I think there's a bunch of light sources here because, of course, the warp stone then goes back through to the tank and the hose that's there in the gun, right? The light is supposed to be coming from the barrel and projectile. Okay, so if the barrel is sort of see-through and creating light too, then we would just want to see a little bit more green on the wood of the gun that's underneath the barrel, because that light would spill out onto the gun itself and not just be contained inside the barrel, I don't think. and we'd want to just see that light. You get what I'm saying, is that if you're going to have the brightness on the shield be that bright, then it needs to blend out a little bit further, because that's a super intense light. But it creates a lot of contrast here, and it makes it really cool.
Matt B, definitely, it's not about getting destroyed, Matt B. It's about challenging yourself. Right?
Oh, no. And trust me, I'm not trying to destroy anybody. Everything that I'm saying here is I hope that what you're finding is that I'm tailoring it to the work that I'm seeing. I don't hold anybody to a level playing field of, oh my gosh, you get good, scrub. It's what I see being invested in it at the level of painter that's submitting, and then looking at how they could then move that to the next level, right? Based on their skill as either a beginner or as, that rat sniper is a spectacularly painted model, and he submitted them before. The thing I was going to say before we move on is that the way that the flame is done in the little urn there is much more what I expect from the green light too, but the flame is shown at a less intense lighting. Notice how the ground beneath the flame is not as bright as the flame itself. There's a big change in vibrancy there. Mm-hmm. So then from the point of impact of light on the ground around the flame, it then immediately starts to spill out and get darker and then blends into the green. But the green is super bright, and the green being super bright means it would overtake, and I would see more green in more places, I think, so that it doesn't have such a hard cutoff in some of those. But phenomenal job.
Oh, great.
Yeah, don't ever worry about getting beat up. This is not what this is about.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I love these. The fire is just done really well.
Yeah.
I love the way the fire looks on it. I don't know if I'm seeing a tremendous amount of overspill of color, a little bit maybe on the middle one, but the flame itself is done really, really nicely here.
Yeah.
This is just a great color scheme, right? This is something that you can also do. And remember, when we talk about OSL, don't feel like every model that has something like these are spectacular models, don't feel like they have to have OSL to make the flame believable, right? Yeah. Because you can ruin a model really quickly by just putting color on the model that isn't done in a way that makes the eye think that that's a glow of light.
It could be outside, too. Where the
light
is...
See, there's the real idea. And one of the things that I get on people about is, like, these torches wouldn't really give off a lot of color, except where the flame was licking up against, like, the metal on the center dude's banner type thing.
Yeah.
Wherever it gets super close, we get a little orangishness to it.
Yeah.
Because you can imagine, if you go light a fire outside, there is no OSL from that fire.
Yeah.
Because the fire will never be as intense as the sunlight during the day. Never. It just won't be. Right? Now, if the sun gets obscured by clouds and the ambient light gets diminished around it, then the flame can start fighting with the light. Because remember, light is always fighting with other light for intensity. Which one do you see? The one that's more intense. The one that's not intense at all, you don't see it. Turn a flashlight on outside in the middle of the day. What do you get? Nothing. Right? You can turn the flashlight around and look into it. The bulb isn't as bright because everything's bright. Turn all the lights off and shine the light bulb in your face, and you'll be seeing spots for hours, right? So that's what light does, is it fights with itself or fights with other light sources for which is the most intense. And on this one, I can believe that they're outdoors. The sun is the most intense thing, and this is great flame. I like that it's really nice, oily flame, too.
It's subtle. I could see these guys walking outside.
I love these models, by the way, too.
Wing Hunter.
All right. Now we're talking.
Nice.
Yeah, great one. That first, this series of photos really tells the whole story too, right? The first one shows off the blue, and you're like, it's a great model. It's blue, The next one shows that, the blue is shadow because look at all this light coming from the torch, and the torch shows me that cloak is really green, right? And then the next one, the third picture, just gives me a good example of how that torchlight being warm and not too bright, like we were talking about earlier, it just gives a nice glow. It fades from the source across all of the model to where eventually the model gets into darkness as it goes over towards the sword hand, right? But even the top of the sword has a little bit of glow of the flame because it's reflective metal, whereas the backside of the sword has none. This is a great job. This is a great job of understanding how light moves, because remember, light moves in 360 degrees spherically, right? Yeah. So it's completely three-dimensional, 360-degree sphere that it emanates from whatever gives the light out. And a lot of times what I talk about is being able to take your paintbrush, and if you can pretend that, in this case, the torch, you can take your paintbrush and kind of eye from the torch and paint a little dot on every part of the model that torch can see, and you need to put light there. Because if there's nothing blocking it, the light will hit it. It may be at a lot less intensity because it's further away, but that's how you tell. And this is a great job because that cloak in the back, the way that the brightness is on the top of the folds, but darkness in the bottom of the folds, the antlers are lit really well. This is a great job. Fantastic job.
C57. Oh, nice.
This is a great job. We've got this glowing, I forget what they call these things in Halo. But that sword that they've got and the glow down the side of the thigh and the back of the calf and everything, and then up into the armpit is really cool because that's where you are normally seeing shadow on this model because you look at the intensity of the green of the armor from the top. So this is a really good job. This is a really good understanding of placement of light. Now it's really just finding a way to turn that light into a little bit of color. I think on this one, these are generally, I think in the Halo lore, a little blue, right?
Yeah, they're blue. This is Master Chief.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're blue. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think on this one, the idea of the sword or whatever it's called being so bright because it's a bright light source, so it almost looks like white. And then I think adding a little bit more blue and a little less intensity of what appears to be kind of a white color on the armor would help a lot here, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not. One of the hardest things to get used to with OSL is that the light source itself, like a torch. You might have the torch be done in yellow and pale yellow because at the source of the flame it's really bright. Then it gets into orange and red and maybe a sooty black as it gets oily off to the edge of the flame. That flame, when you do the OSL on the object that it's close to, needs to start from something between yellow and orange. You don't ever do the pale yellow or the brightest color that's on the torch because that's really just suited for where the point of ignition is, right? That brightest point of the flame is kind of at the center, right? Now, there's other types of fuels that burn and give the brightness a little bit extended from the point of ignition because it'll be clear at the point of ignition. We don't need to get into that. Just in a general 50,000-foot view, the point of ignition or the source of heat is where you're going to get the most brightness, right? That's the light source. Everything else can also generate intensity of light, but at different frequencies. So the yellows, the oranges, the whatever, blue, green, depending on what you're burning. And what you need to make sure of is that the light that hits your figure as the OSL is never the brightest color. It's always the next brightest color that you start with, so that it gives the idea that you've lost intensity over distance. And like we said, we had the Red Skull holding the Tesseract. The hand and sleeve right close to the Tesseract could almost be the color of the brightest part of the Tesseract, but you still don't want it to be that bright.
Yeah.
Because it's not generating light. And light loses, it attenuates over distance, right? So just be careful of that. Go put your hand up next to a bulb. You'll notice your hand never gets as bright as the bulb. And even if you're right next to the bulb, your hand will never be as bright as the bulb because the light emanating from the bulb reflects off your hand and loses some energy when it does so. It can be very, very close, but it's never as bright. So always think about that. Now, if you put a mirror up, a mirror could reflect 100% and be as bright. So you have to think about material, but I don't want to get too crazy. But yeah, I love this. The idea of the placement of light on this is really, really good.
C57, number 2.
Librarian.
Oh, like the runes in the... Okay.
Oh, yeah. Maybe the glow of the runes
so.
on the shin guard and also the axe.
Yeah, it's very subtle, but
that force axe is done really cool with that red.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's hard to pull the rune. The glowing rune thing is really cool, but it doesn't really respond as well visually as an OSL effect until, like I said before with the boat, that it has a way for that color to bounce off other parts of the model. Because it doesn't let me see the intensity of the light as well. Pulling off the glowing rune thing looks cool on the model itself, but it needs to have a reflection point.
Yeah.
Where that light bounces off the model someplace else. Great job on both of these, though.
Oops, sorry. There it is. Weedan.
Oh, another great one. Fantasy models with torches really do it for me. They give you the ability to have a lot of materials. So you have like armor, leather, hair, skin, everything you want. And also, torches typically are a warmer and less intense light because it's hard to get a torch that just burns and lights up the whole stadium. It's gonna only light up the figure. So it gives you the ability on the base, like we see here, that we have a little bit of light on the base, which works really, really well. But you can see how less intense the light is as it hits the ground because it's almost red.
Yeah.
Right? So telling that story means that if my reflection is red, then my light is much less intense This flame is not burning super bright, right? It's almost like a coal. If you walk up to the burnt coals, the little red in there is still warm, but it's less intense. The glow doesn't reach as far as when the flame was jumping 10 feet off of the fire earlier. So this is great. The armor's great. We get that little bit of tinge of red and orange. The fact that on the skin we don't have much except for the red just keeps the light compacted into a tight spot and works very well. Again, I think that on the opposite side of the light, the blue would be a little less intense. You might desaturate your color away from the light just to help tell the story a little bit more. It drives more contrast into the light side because, you've got the ground beneath goes into that desaturated gray and turns into shadow away from the reflected light. So I'd like to see more of that on the rest of the model, which is really just that part of the cloak that goes to blue. I would desaturate that blue, make it a little bit darker, a little less highlight across the shoulder of the blue.
Iron Man.
Is this, what's in her finger? What she got on her finger? Is that a little flame?
It's a little flame.
Little flame?
Yeah, it looks like a little flame.
That's great. Yeah, great.
Believe.
Again, just a little spark of flame on the hand, but I'm getting a little bit of warmth that goes back to the hair and a little bit on her right breast and the shoulder maybe. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. Again, the flame, I guess the only thing I'm seeing here is that the flame and the glow on the fingers is that same thing. Make the flame brighter or make the glow of yellow on the hands less intense, right?
Uh-huh.
Because it makes the flame and the glow the same color, and that tells a different story, like I've been talking about all along. Notice how the yellow on the arm is so much more desaturated. It barely hints color onto flesh. That's what you want up close on the thumb as well, is to see more of the flesh tone through it, and then just highlight it with a brighter color along the front of the nail, maybe along the edge of the finger or whatever, and then add a little bit more intensity like pale yellow or something to the flame to make it the brightest point on it.
Yeah.
But great job on it. Again, when you look at the whole model, there's a really good use of your what I assume is like a zenithal highlight and prime on this that showed what your intention was with the light. Because if you look at the bangs and the hair, this was a really great way to say I want the light coming from that side of the model. Yeah. And good manipulation of the yellow. It looks like it's still kind of maybe in its early stages, but I love it. Great job. What I am seeing is a really good understanding of direction of light across a lot of these models.
Yeah.
It's really just the manipulation of how light looks when it puts color on a model. You need to make sure it doesn't look like paint.
Alex,
I really like this model.
What is this?
It's just one of the first Primaris librarians that came out. He's in, like, I forget what the Phobos armor or whatever it is called.
Super cool.
Yeah, it's a really neat model because this is when they were giving him more like tactical pouches and stuff, and I like the fact that he has like a big leather cloak thing.
I love the books and stuff hanging.
Yeah, I like the candlelight on the foot is really cool, right? The glow of the candlelight against the blue armor is neat. The way it lights up the leather, and that you can tell that there's also a light from the top, and so the candlelight and the light from the top are fighting each other right around the thigh and waistline.
Yeah,
right. The yellow immediately goes away. The light from the top. The only thing is, like, on the back, I get a yellow light on the back of the banner. I don't know if that was intentional, but I would not do that. I would not use yellow as a color on a part of the model away from your light source if your light source is also yellow, right? Because initially when I look at this picture, the yellowing of the leather down by the ground is exactly the same as the yellowing of the leather up on the banner, or the fabric on the banner. So it tells a different story. It just makes it seem like maybe that's the color. Huh. I think what you want to do if you have yellow light is make sure you remove yellow from everything else except like you have some gold trim on the banner, which is really cool. And the flame on the banner. Those things that are intentionally that color are fine, like the finial on the top and all that is great. But I think anywhere where you have colored cloth, take the yellow away from it. Notice how on the front, the middle picture, notice how the leather at the top turns into a really kind of desaturated tan.
Yeah.
Keep that desaturated tan on everything. The top of the banner on this side has it, so it could just be something with the photo.
Yeah. Huh.
But see, when I look at the third picture, I see the warmth of the back of the banner again. And I would just say stay away from that unless that candle on the back you're trying to say is causing all of that light too. That's a harder story to tell because the candle on the back is where your upper light source is. So that's a tough one.
Muffin Truck says, "Oh, that makes sense. I'm Alex." Okay, cool, Muffin Truck. I know this was one of your first ones, so
this is a great model. You're fighting a hard story to tell because on the middle picture, I have a great juxtaposition of the warm light of the candle down low, the white light, we'll call it, of whatever's up above. It could just be ambient light in the area he's in, the library, the building, the ship, whatever. But notice how he does still have a highlight on the top of his head. He does still have a highlight on the top of the banner. So you've set this up fantastically. That picture looks awesome. I can tell there's a white light coming from above. There's a warm candle glow coming from below. But you turn the model around, and now I have a candle on a candlestick up high fighting with my white light. The candle would not take over the intensity of the white light, I don't think. I think if that candle were going to be as intense or that it was going to be able to put yellow light up on that banner, and that banner is closer to your white light source, right? Because your white light is up above. So as you go up the model, it's going to be closer to whatever that light source is, fluorescent light, whatever. Doesn't matter. That a candle stops being able to have light. It's like we were talking about if you take the flashlight outside in the middle of the day and shine it, you get nothing. That candle on the candlestick behind should give you nothing. It's the light. It's the flashlight in the middle of the day. The candle on the floor gives you light because he and his body are blocking the white light from above and letting the candle take over and be more intense there. Does that make sense? That's the only thing that I'm having a trouble with here. But I couldn't see the candle in the first photo. So I do understand now what you were doing and why the yellow exists up top. I just think that it would probably be a tougher sell visually to make that the case.
Tech Elf.
Oh, this is great. This, again, is one where, you've got the lava or fire from the camp. He's about to murder somebody in from down below, and the rest of it is moonlight. This is great. Right? Great job. Again, great placement of light. The intensity of light on the underside of the rock is much more than the light on him, where he has more of an absorptive material on his body. The cloth, right, is going to give you less intensity than the rock. This is great. Fantastic job.
I like this workup.
It's great. Like I said, everybody is nailing the direction of light. I hope what people are seeing is the method in which you sell it being light and not just being paint.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the hardest thing with OSL. That's one of the biggest challenges.
Doomsday Sprocket.
Another one. Another great, very storytelling little diorama piece. I love this thing. This is a Lord of the Rings kind of dwarf, right? Or a
looks like it.
Warhammer or a World of Warcraft dwarf with those big-ass horns on the ram is really cool.
Yeah.
This is going to be one where, and remember, there's a hard thing that we didn't say at the beginning. All of these are based solely on what I can see in the photo.
Yeah.
And especially when doing OSL, sometimes you're using colors in your OSL that are so bright the camera doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So you may be seeing better blending and either more or less contrast than what I'm calling out. Don't feel bad. If I'm not seeing it exactly the way you painted it because of the photo and the light and the way the camera interacted, don't feel bad. If you know you did what I'm saying, be proud of it. That's great. All I can go with is what I see. The first thought that I had when I see the flame on that leftmost picture is that the logs need to be a little bit brighter right next to the light because of how intense the flame is.
Oh, I see.
But when I look at the bottom right-hand picture, that picture looks correct.
I see. So you're saying that the log should be a little brighter.
See how much contrast there is in the flame on the picture on the right? You get to a very dark tip of the flame.
Yep.
That would only happen because there's a super bright middle. And if there's that super bright middle, I would want to see a little bit more intensity color of the logs as they hit the flame. But what I see in the bottom right picture tells a different story. I don't see that same contrast in the flame. It's out of focus in that one, which is probably why.
Yeah.
The foreground is a little more out of focus, but hopefully you can see what I'm talking about because you can definitely see the two differences here. Because you don't have the same contrast, the same dark to light contrast in the fire in the bottom right-hand picture, the glow on the logs looks right because it makes the entire flame look a little less bright because you took away the dark contrast. When you look at the flame as it is on the left-hand side, you see that darkness that you've got on there, that sooty smoke at the edge of the flame.
Yeah.
Brings contrast, makes the bright parts look brighter, which means you need to have more brightness on the log. So again, this is probably one where you got to trust your gut at your end. I'm probably not seeing the whole story because of the camera. This is fantastic. Great job. Again, on this one, I would probably put less intensity to all of the parts of the model away from the light, meaning less highlight, right? We've got a lot of highlight on the top of the ram, on the horns. Bring less contrast into the areas that go away from the light when you're doing an outside at night versus campfire. Like, go back to the previous one. Was it the previous one? Yeah. Look at this one. Take notes from this one. And there's been others before this. Notice how the back side of the model is so desaturated. Look at the third picture. Look at how it's harder to distinguish contrast. There aren't as many bright highlights, even though it's moonlight. But notice how there's no super bright highlights anywhere. Now look at the next model. Go back to the dwarf. And look at the uppermost right picture, and look how bright the highlight is down the back of the ram, and look at how bright the metallic highlight is on the back of the dwarf, right? Which, by the way, the metals are fantastic on all of this. Great manipulation. But when your campfire light is intended to be a big light source, and even though you might have moonlight, just take a little bit of the bright highlight down a notch on everything from the moonlight side and keep it on the fire side, or vice versa. If you want the light up from the fire to be very dim and the moonlight to be very bright, just make sure that your highlights on one side of towards one light source are less than the other light source. That tells a big story. Having the edge highlights be dimmer or darker on one side makes that light immediately less intense. And then do bright highlights on the side where you want the intense light. So it's really that easy. Pick which of the lights in my scene is the brightest, and then do your bright highlights on the side of that light. Ooh.
Captain Crabble.
Necron glow. Now, here's some good use of the kind of rune glow, right? And the Necrons do that pretty well because they have glowy bits all over the place. So here we have the runes on the sword, which are akin to the runes that we saw on the boat, and the librarian, right? So there's not a lot of intensity, and there's no place for them to bounce around on the rest of the model. But then you look at the glow like on the gut and the glow on the inside of the body, and you see how we get a little bit of green glow on the inside of the arm, and the other parts of the body reflect it. So this is a really good manipulation and telling of a story where you don't necessarily have like one big grandiose light source. You're letting all these little punctuations of light in the green reflect onto other parts of the model. Good, really good job here. I really like the middle one that has like the glow coming from the middle of the body there.
Yeah.
Again, these are tough because it doesn't reflect on all of the bits of the model all the time, so you can't really tell. But this is a great way to kind of work around that. You've got little pinpoint spots of glow every now and then.
I'm glad, Doomsday, that you challenge yourself. That's the whole point of these.
Doomsday was great. You guys are killing it.
Anna.
Holy glowy eyes. Look at the skull. Again.
Nice.
And the orb in the middle. The only thing I would say is that the orb in the middle needs to brighten up because the glow of red against the cloth behind the orb is the same color as the orb.
Yeah.
The orb needs to be brighter so that the red behind the orb makes sense. The eyes, you've done great. Think about the way the eyes are. Her eyes are this bright kind of glow, and then the red coming off of them is darker. Do the same thing with the orb. Find a way. That's hard on the orb, right? Because this goes back to what we were talking about yesterday or the day before. How do you paint a sphere to make it seem like there's a light in the middle of it?
Yeah.
Because anything you paint is on the outside of the sphere. You can't make it have the depth to go into the sphere, but you can kind of stipple a bright center circle and then globe out from that on the light. It's really only going to work in one direction, right? It's only going to be able to be done from this shot right here. And then as you turn the model, the bright dot moves and feels a little funky. But to tell the story right, I would do it like that.
That's what Anna said. She having a hard
I
time.
know it sucks, right? It's like trying to paint the inside of a glass bottle to make it look like there's really liquid in there. Same problem. But you could just paint the orb brighter.
Wanderer.
This is a cool model.
This is a dope model.
All of these are cool, but this one I always love suits of armor. They're animated without bodies.
Yeah,
I just dig it when the modeler and the sculptor can make it work because the things that make the pieces fit together are like this, like flowing fabric and things like this. It's a great job.
You got 3 models here too, which is super cool.
I'm seeing a glow from like the bluish glow on the ground. It makes me feel like the paper
is glowing
like it's magical, and that's where it's getting the power. Oh, it's actually like comes out of the fingers there too. Yeah, again, this is great because I'm getting just very small hints of the blue glow as it gets close to material there, which is cool. It gives a motion to it. You know, you feel like as the paper gets closer to something, you get a blue glow, but as it gets further away, it loses it. So great job using the intensity of light that you were trying to create there. I think these would be really fun to hold in my hand and look at. They have so much going on from different directions that it's hard to track, but I see what's going on. And I just love the models.
Magpie.
I'm having a hard time finding what's going on here.
A lot of fire. I think it's all fire.
Is she holding up? What is she holding up, or it holding
I
up
think
in
it's
its
holding
left
fire.
hand?
I think she's holding fire.
Yeah.
That's fire right there.
Oh, that's
hand.
also fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get the feel of fire from the right hand, because all the glow of warm yellow and stuff is on that side.
Yeah.
And then this side, I'm wondering what that is.
That's her face right there.
Yeah.
And then that's her arm, and then I think it's fire, potentially?
It just has more reddish on it.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
I really like the first picture, the way we get the glow. So one of the things is to think of what does light do from the side that doesn't have the light. And here what it's done is it gives you that halo glow around the hair. Notice how there's just that sliver of warm yellow that goes around the hair on the right side there. And that's because the light's on that side. Remember, the light doesn't just stop. It does still fade. And so you get kind of a halo effect. And I like the way it's done on the hair there. This is pretty cool.
Magpie 2. Oh, cool. Nice. It's definitely coming from the book.
This looks like my character in Lord of the Rings Online.
Yeah.
I have a rune, whatever he's called.
Runekeeper.
Dwarf Runekeeper. And this looks like my Runekeeper because he runs around with a little book and does.
Yeah.
I love this. The magenta kind of, or dark hot pink. The bottle's right there, right? The pink glow on it is really cool. Again, I think that we want to have, like on the pages of the book, narrow it down to one bright glow spot. Maybe it's the seam of between the pages that gets brighter.
Magpie says on her hip there's a capsule emulating the fire. First attempt at OSL.
Oh, awesome. Oh, I kind of see now, right?
Okay.
On the left side, maybe.
Yeah.
And then it comes up, and she's kind of like playing with it or something like that.
Right.
Interesting. Because it also goes down to the ground, or is that just rock on the ground?
Other side.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, I get you.
Yeah, again, great job understanding the angle that the light would hit. And like I said, the halo on the hair on that first picture is perfect, considering that you have most of the yellow and intensity of light coming from her hand area, like she's holding that flame.
Yeah.
Here again, like I said, it's like I'm going to call it magenta color, the dark hot pink, right? The pink color that's on the lighting there is the same intensity of what hits the model as is in the book.
Oh, I see. So you're saying to go brighter with it.
Go brighter with the book.
Object, yeah.
Go brighter with the book, or go darker and less, not darker, that's never the way to say it. Less intense with the pink on the model, then the pages become brighter pink. Or brighten the pink on the book, and the pink stay the way that it is on the model.
Yeah.
Because like I said, and I'm hoping that's what everybody's going to walk away with here, is that your light source should always be brighter than any of the color of that light produced on any part of the model. Any part.
That's what I'm thinking about with my Thunder Warriors. I need
Some of yours are just as bright as they hit the model as the light source is.
And I need to increase the swords now.
Yeah, increase the brightness on the source, which you could just do by adding some white to it. The thing with lighting is you can literally just add titanium white to it and brighten it up and put that in a little spot.
Gotcha.
Edge highlight it.
Yeah.
Give the point of it. Like I said, on this one, on the book, you could just do a little bit of that color in between the pages and make it look like from the folds of the pages the light was emanating, right? And then all of a sudden you get to where it feels like light now.
Nice.
Because there's two different intensities of that color.
Yeah, Magpie, I'm thinking the same thing on my models right now, where I can just add more of that brightness to it. So
yeah,
good
and like
job.
I said, in person, if it's really bright, like I said, the camera doesn't always catch these effects because we're trying to do very subtle things that might include very bright colors, and cameras can be really awful sometimes at picking up resolution of that brightness.
Especially brightness is one thing that cameras always historically have struggled with. And that's why I'm always like, okay, your exposure's big on OSL stuff.
Well, and cameras are always trying to put fake contrast in it to make your photo look more sharp.
Yep. Cool. Good stuff.
Especially in today's day of iPhone pictures.
Ooh.
Okay, this is great, right? The flame on the side. I like, again, the yellow. A great job here. Like we've been talking about, the intensity of the flame could come up a little bit with a little bit of bright color where the flame hits the actual holder.
Yeah, uh-huh.
But I love the yellow and the orange on the rest of the flame there. And then the intensity of light as it hits the wood is much lower, so great job there. And then we get the kind of yellowishness on the scrolls. I think that you probably, because of the shape of this, don't get the yellow running down the scroll, but that's a nitpicky thing. I think I just keep it to the edge of the scroll. right? So the edge of the roll at the top, the edge, and then the edge of the little curl at the bottom. Don't bring the glow across the front of the scroll roll there. And then do less and less as you go away from the flame. Because notice how the scroll towards the left.
Yeah.
No, go. Yeah. Well, no, the next one over. That one.
Yeah.
Is almost as intense as the scroll to the right of it.
Oh, I see.
So
what
that
you're
doesn't
saying.
give you the idea that the light is fading over distance. So just be careful. Make it closer to bright, as you get close to the flame, and then dim it out as you go. But this is great. I love this. Again, just a cool little piece of terrain that adding this feature to is going to make it seem more alive, which is going to look good in whatever scene you're setting it in, Mordheim or whatever you're using. Fun stuff.
Petro paints.
Aha.
Ooh.
Now we're talking.
Love that little.
Yeah, this is great. This is like
effect.
I just breathed flame and melted something, and now the glow of that is coming up. And again, check out how there's no brighter color anywhere on this model than the color that's on the melted portion of the base. You get that bright yellow on the base. You don't see that bright yellow anywhere else. It sticks to that magenta glow on everywhere else. That magenta is the dark part of the melted slag on the base. I'm going to call it melted slag. I don't know what it is. But you have the yellow being the brightest, intense part. And that's even still more like a dull coal glow. But notice how now it just gives that warmth up onto the model. I don't know that this glow, I can't see the whole model. I don't know that this glow hits the wings, but again, that's one of those, don't ever let reality get in the way of a great storytelling experience, because having those wings have a little bit of glow to them is awesome. It looks cool. Awesome. I would say you probably, if the wings are going to have glow up that high and away from the flame, that you probably want a little bit of glow on the underside of the horns on the head. You probably want a little bit of glow on the teeth. Up towards the head. You probably want to carry the glow equidistant up away from the flame. Always think about that. If you have one thing that's up this high that has a glow on it, then everything that's up that high would have the opportunity to have a glow on it. It still has to be able to be seen by the color, but, so don't automatically just highlight everything or put glow on everything that's at the same level. Look at how it faces the light, but always give everything an equal opportunity across the dimension to have a glow. This is a phenomenal model, though. Great job.
Super duper John.
Yeah, great job, Pietro. Super duper John. Ooh. Darth Maul.
The classic lightsaber. The first one we've seen so far.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. We haven't seen any lightsabers.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, again, great use of the color and finding the direction of the light. The thing that sticks out to me here is the color down his right leg from that second picture.
Yep.
Great job there. I think we're going to fall victim on this one to the same thing. The color of the glow and the color of the lightsaber are the same, or too close to being the same. So we want to brighten the lightsaber up here, and you win. Right? All you got to do is brighten the lightsaber up.
I'm going home and doing that to my guys, because
it's easier to do that than to darken the color on the model, because now you're having to glaze more paint on the model, and then now it interferes with the color that you've put on. The scariest thing with OSL is that typically as you're learning it, you're putting it on when the model's done.
Yeah.
And it's a big oops moment when you don't feel like it's right, because you're like, I spent all this time painting this model, and now it looks like I spilled mustard on it, right?
Yeah.
And so you got to be careful. That's why I always say err on the side of being too thin with your color, so that your color doesn't have any intensity as you apply it, and then layer it up, because then you can stop when you pull back and you look at it and go, yeah, the sword's bright and the glow is not, and that's perfect, as opposed to painting it on. On this one, I think just brighten the lightsaber up. Some people will do that by just doing a line of brightness in the middle, and then do it on both sides, right? Because it's hard to not just paint the whole lightsaber a brighter color. And if you want to contain that, the idea of a lightsaber seems like it has like a really bright lightning effect in the middle of it and then gets dark around the outside.
Yeah.
So I do that on my lightsabers by picking one side and painting a little lightning of white or whatever brightness, and then rotate it at 180 degrees and do the line on the other side too. It doesn't look perfect, but it gives a really good idea. You could also just do like where it comes out of the hilt itself. You could do the brightness there and then have it get darker towards the tips. That can look really good too. It's not the lightsaber look from the movies, but it tells a really good story and creates a really bright ignition point for it, that then the lighting on the fabric starts to make sense.
Vipus. Oh, little flame from the
Mandrake.
Here.
This is Mandrake?
Mandrake, yeah.
Dark Elf. Dark Eldar things. I like the blue flame. I feel like we've seen this model before. Did we see this model before?
No. I haven't seen it.
I like it. I like the blue flame in the hair again. I think this one is the same. This one's tough. This one's tough because the background is bright, so we lose contrast on the model. Looking at the skirt, if we want to call it that, I'm seeing really good lighting and transition on his skirt of what I expect the light is, that bluish tone, and washing that out. And then when I see it from the other angle, the skirt turns into kind of a warm brown, right? So I don't know if that's supposed to be two-tone or if the color from the OSL is overtaking one half of it. But I like the story that we're trying to see. In that middle picture, I get the idea of the blue tinging the tips of his hair.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. I still think I want to see more intense color on the flame in his hand so that the blue on everything else is not so close in value. Common theme. Like I said at the beginning, there's going to be a common theme through a lot of these OSL ones because this is the biggest challenge to get over. It's like the when you really learn non-metallic metal is when you start learning how to place bright and dark right next to each other.
Yeah.
You have to fight your idea of a blend. With OSL, you have to fight the idea of, well, the light color would be the color I paint on the model. It's like, no, it's a darker version of the light color that you paint on the model and then do it very thin.
Yep.
But great directionality. Everything that should be lit on most of these models has been lit, which is great.
Nerd gun. Nice.
I love the name and I love the model. So
Nerd
this is I love the neon going on here, right?
Super cool.
There's a lot of color happening here.
A lot of color.
Right? So we have a neon of her, or like she's kind of in the pose, and there's neon behind her, and then there's neon to the right of her that would also be doing this. So we have blue neon glow down low on the pants, and then the magenta neon glow hitting some of the skin. I think that her right, along her right breast line seems to have a little bit more blue than magenta on it.
Yep.
But there's a lot going on here. I really love it. That third picture tells a lot of the story because I can see the magenta glow from the left, or her left, and then the blue glow from the right.
Yeah,
which does it. I think the only thing that's tossed me is like the lizard bar or the Lizzie bar or whatever it is on the left. The blue seems to come up higher on the model, and it's followed by that magenta right above it with the helmet skull.
Yeah. Huh.
And I feel like maybe there's a little bit too much blue on her right side that would have the pink on it too. On the head, this is just an artistic thing. The head seems like her hair is dyed blue and pink as well.
I think so. So you're saying maybe
I would choose different colors.
like brown hair or something
green,
more neutral.
Green if you want a cool steampunk or not steampunk, but kind of like that.
Just a different color than the light.
Yeah. I would move away from your light color because, again, it's not that there isn't a story there. It's that visually I always paint models and try to teach people to think of color in terms of if you handed this to somebody and couldn't speak to them, what gives them the best storytelling experience? Mm-hmm. If the hair is the same color as the lighting, my visualizer is always wondering how the light is hitting the hair. How am I getting the pink and the blue in the hair, right? And I can see it on some of these pictures why, but I think if the hair were made green or yellow or something else that really had that kind of vibe to it, right, that then you would start to tell a better story. But this is a fantastic model. The glow on the ground is fantastic. This is a hell of a model to take on because, number one, you've got to paint the model, and the model's like I would assume this is probably a 90 millimeter model, 75 millimeter.
Looks big. Doesn't look small.
And then the neon, because neon's so good. Neon is so bright, and neon, it has an intensity to it that I think you've captured really well. Like I said, that third picture tells the whole story. The first picture tells a really good story with the pink light hitting and how we move from light to skin tone and light to the color of her overalls and on the shirt. Great job. Yeah, great manipulation of color. I would just change the color of the hair. It doesn't mean that the pink and the blue can't hit the hair, but when they do, now it looks like light as opposed to right where her arm goes over her head. I feel like the blue there wouldn't be from a light. It's just the color of her hair, and I would like to see that maybe change.
Ooh.
This is a fun model, too.
The pug.
These models are all awesome. A great job on the flame into the smoke coming out of the missile launcher, number one. Having the light is really down deep inside the smoke, which is great. We've got like a couple of the rockets there on the ground or whatever, grenades or whatever they are. Again, the smoke on the other side with, I'm assuming that's like a gun that he's got.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, he's got multiple arms. I'm seeing it now. He's got 4 arms.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least 3.
No, he's got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I love it. Yeah. So
Crazy looking.
yeah, so I really like what I'm seeing here. I see a little bit of glow like on the ammo belt on his left hip. That's coming from like the glow from the gun.
Yep.
Right? And then a little bit of glow of that flame. But I love the way you've done your smoke here. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah,
right?
you can see where it's coming from.
The intensity of heat inside the smoke is the right way to do it, and it's really come off really nicely here. I love the shadow baked into the pants. If you look at the second picture, you get the kind of magenta glow of the pants, but then that purple shadow that's very intense. So there's a lot of really good play with ambient light here. Awesome stuff. And it's like a pug. It's like a 4-armed pug of
It is
doom.
a pug. All right. What gremlin? Ooh.
I like this as well. Where is my lights at? Lamp. Okay,
Got
it's
a
that
lamp in the book.
And this is okay, so here's a great way to do a frosted lamp, right? We have that intensity that just kind of gets a little less intense as we go up the flute of the lamp. So that's a great way of doing that light bulb feel, right? That's hard to do, like we were talking about. But you've chosen to color the middle, the fat part of the lamp bright, and then we get a little darker as we go to the extremities, and that works really well as creating a light source. And then the book is glowing blue. So that's also really good. Some neat stuff happening here. I think the lamp on the floor looks really good. I think the light on the floor, the way that it has that you can see the spherical radiation of the glow, the shadow of some of the objects on the floor as the light passes over them is really good. I think that I would probably like to see a little bit more contrast. Notice how on the floor the light goes from intense to then dark, but on the broom we don't ever get to dark. On the broom, we have a good amount of lighting on the side of the broom towards the lamp, but it never gets to dark. I would want to see the broom get darker, right, as it comes around the front.
Yeah.
So that we really drive that lighting idea home, which is fine because the broom can be made of straw that would reflect more than the floor anyway. So you could have, even though the broom starts being lit where the floor stops being lit, you could pull that off. You would want the darkness to wrap around pretty far on the broom, I think, on the front. And don't be afraid of that, right? Don't be afraid of painting the front of the model dark. It doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes, but when you're telling a story like this with lighting from behind the model with that lamp, it tells a lot, and it becomes very dramatic to get darkness on the front of the model. The book, again, I think there's a little bit of the pages being not bright enough, right? The third picture shows me the sky blue style blue on the book. And then when I look at the light on her, it's almost the same color, if not even a little bit brighter than the book. So just be careful with that. We want the blue to be darker on the image it hits, and on this I would brighten the book up. I would make the pages, the center of the pages on the book be much brighter, and then you can leave the blue on her alone, because the lighting on her looks good as a blue. It's just the same color as the book.
That's it.
Man, this was awesome.
A lot of really good workups, Jason.
Yeah, fantastic stuff.
I've learned one thing, I don't know if everybody's relating, but your object definitely needs to be brighter.
Light source should always be brighter when definitely when it's in the scene.
And that's where, like, I think that's a little obvious. It's kind of like a no duh when you say it out loud, but for me, I'm like, oh, just add white to that color.
Yeah. There's a couple of models on here where the light was not in the scene.
Yeah.
The guy jumping off of the rock.
Ginkgo's.
There were a couple of them where the light wasn't in the scene, and then you get to pick your brightness because your brightness just sets the idea of how far away the light is.
Yeah.
But because you can't see the light, you get to play in that realm. Whenever the light's in picture, like this, the lamp, the book, then they should always be the brightest part of that color, right? So the lamp should be the brightest yellow that we see on this model, and the book should be the brightest color of that white-blue emanating glow, and then everything else should be a darker version of that.
Okay, so Jason.
Holy crap, this is the hard part. Oh, wow, was that a phone call I have? I have to go.
I believed you for a split second. I did. 100%. And then you looked at me.
I do that every time I have to pick a winner.
You looked at me twice, and then I'm like, wait a second.
I do that every time I pick a winner. You should be used to
Jason,
this by now.
you have to pick one.
I can do however many I want.
Jason, you have to pick one, and I'll pick one.
Only 2 of these amazing models are going to get picked? Where's Jen to save us? Jen, can I pick one for Jen?
Just one.
Damn it.
Here you go.
Walk backwards through these.
I'm curious if you think you know the one I chose.
So many spectacular models. every month gets harder and harder and harder. Number one, and it sounds cliche, but everybody wins because doing OSL is a bummer when you really think about it. It's like for your first try, and a lot of people have said this is their first try, nailed it. The biggest thing is always to think about the directionality of lighting, right? Ooh. Oh. Paint licker's my choice.
Paint liquor? I like it. Paint liquor. Paint liquor. I knew Jason was going to pick this one.
It's just my gut, man. I really like this model. Sorry.
No.
Remember, for all those of you that may be
did
seeing this
great.
for the first time, remember this is not a competition.
Nope.
We pick what we as artists really that just jumps off the page at us at first. And when this one jumped off, I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like I said, I wish the outside of the cloak on his cape on him was darker and that the inside was brighter to follow along with the whole lighting scheme here. But it's just a great job and manipulation of light across this in a cartoony scale. So not only did we do the OSL here, but we also did it in a method of painting that is different than normal, right? We're doing the cell-shaded painting, so the hard lining of the light, the manipulation of the light, the way that the can of light is lit with the brightest colors, it just follows all the rules. It's really good.
Yeah. All right.
Paint liquor, great job.
I got to pick one now?
Oh, wait. That one's so good.
This was my pick.
That's yours?
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's a great
100%.
one. That's a great one.
Bam,
and again,
man.
think about this for a second, guys. Look at how simple this composition is.
I freaking love this.
Look at how simple the composition is. How many colors are on this model? Can anybody tell me?
3.
Is there 5 maybe?
3 or 5.
Right? Maybe 5, maybe a few more.
Yeah.
It shows what storytelling can be done without a whole lot of you having to just tear it up in 50 million colors.
I love this. This kind of stuff is, for me, this is fun to paint and look at. I just like this because the light is telling so much of the story.
This to me is like Alien. This is like Sigourney Weaver is hunting for her cat, you know. And
it's dark. Everything's dark except for
Jones? Except it's a dog on an Imperial ship.
Do you want to pick one more?
I am going to pick one for Jen.
Are you going to pick one for Jen or one you think Jen would like?
That's what I'm trying to do, is pick one that Jen would like.
Game Delay did a great job. That hair.
I feel like Jen would pick Game Delays just because of the hair being so rad.
Okay. Is that Jen's pick?
Keep going. Is that the beginning?
That's the beginning.
Okay, go through them again.
I freaking love Ginkgo's orc head too. Game Delay
It's a goblin, right?
This one, I freaking love that model. I love that corgi thing. Also, while we're looking through these, if you win, be sure to message me in Discord and I will grab your info.
Go back some. That's it. Wing Hunter.
Wing Hunter.
Yeah. I honestly think that this is one of the best manipulations of light in this series of photos.
Nice.
There is just a spectacular use of geometry of light. Everything that should be lit is lit. Everything that should be lit is lit at the right intensity for how we've done every other part of the model.
Yeah.
There's no inconsistencies here. There's no overly bright spot on the floor that shouldn't be there. There's no overly bright spot on any of the material that shouldn't be there. It lets me see that there's different materials. The arm is brighter than the fabric, right? The oils in the skin reflect more. The sword is brighter than the arm. So there's all sorts of really good things going on here. And this model's tiny.
Yeah.
This OSL has been, look at the model. This OSL has been done on a model that's tiny.
Oh, I guess that is true.
Tiny model. I mean, it's a standard like 32 mil or something like that. But Great job. A lot of storytelling done in a small space on this
If you
guy.
won, hit me up
because
on
look at our
Discord.
bottle. That's like a 25 mil base.
Yeah, I was just about to say this is tiny.
Yeah, it's great. And the level of detail with the lighting is really hard to pull off at that scale. So great job. Yeah, great job.
Paint Liquor, Wing Hunter, and Bandman, hit me up in Discord and I'll get you.
And great job by everybody.
Squared away.
I always personally hate this because I hate picking only one. I wish we could give prizes to everybody here, but remember that the prizes are just fun. Everybody should pat yourself on the back. Fantastic models all the way around. Great use of color, great use of lighting, great absolute fearlessness to put these models up here, especially when doing OSL for the first time. I hope that we were able to give some really good comments back, and that your next effort in OSL will have a little bit more guidance on how and what to look for, how to manipulate it, because it is one of the strongest tools you can use to create drama on your model. When given the opportunity, there's never a bad idea to put some glow and to add in, like, look at this picture right here. Look at the storytelling of a little dog and a big old, this model is just walls and floor with a teeny weeny dog, and yet it tells so much story because of the light.
This is what did it for me.
Hunting through that emergency light with the shadows give me the feel that the xenomorph is right around the corner. Run.
This is what did it for me right here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That photo is really
shadow.
great. Yeah, it's great. Great. Good job.
Cool.
Great job, everybody.
I just put up all the links. Jason, you want to take us out?
Links? We have to say goodbye?
This is it.
Chris, I don't like-
October. If you are not familiar with our
But I don't like to
monthly
say goodbye.
challenges, we're doing Orktober.
Only want to sing.
Head over to our Discord, and we will see you in that challenge, chat. Orktober. Paint up an orc. Whatever you mean that is.
Or Blood Angels.
Or orcs, because it's Orktober.
Or Blood Angels. It's Blood
You
Angel.
will be disqualified.
It is officially Blood Angel Tober. It
Blood
is
Angel-tober.
Sanguinius-tober.
Hey, Sanguinius Tober. You heard it here, folks. I'm changing it immediately. Sanguinius Tober. Everybody paint Sanguinius.
If you don't have an orc, paint a Blood Angel.
Hey,
I
there
said
you
you
go.
can. Because I will be.
It's Orktober. Sign up.
Or is it Forktober? What if you paint a fork?
Don't confuse. I've already set it up. It's Orktober. Monument does Orktober.
Sporktober.
I bet you Orktober is going to get a lot of people.
Oh, orcs are great.
We're going to get a lot of people. This is going to be a big one. Maybe we do something special for this big one. Because technically, the review would be on Halloween.
What? No, it wouldn't. That's not the next month. The review would be on November 1st.
Well, the end of the challenge is Halloween.
Because they have all day on Halloween
That's
to
true.
paint it.
I take
You
it
cannot
back.
rob a
Gosh
day
darn
from the
it.
people.
God,
You know
it would be
you
a
know
little
how
bit
many
more
of these people-
thematic.
You know how many of these people cram for the exam,
It would
Christopher?
have been so much more thematic if we did it, though, for...
Maybe I will speed paint an orc on the 31st, or whatever we have as close to the 31st. Maybe I will enter Orktober
You'll
with
enter?
a one-day challenge.
Painting up an orc.
Paint up an orc. I have an orc bust that's really bitching. I couldn't do it in a day, but
You could do just an orc on Halloween.
no.
That's Friday.
What does an orc have to do with Halloween?
It's Orktober.
Why are you forcing this?
It's Orktober.
Maybe I'll just pick a day and do an orc.
Wag.
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 Wag. Here we go. Jason, wanted...
Orktober Wirehead, yes.
Yes.
It has to have rainbow-colored suspenders. I did rainbow-colored suspenders on a model from
Oh-ho.
War Machine. I gave him Mork suspenders with a button on it. and everything.
Orktober.
I painted him like Mork. He has spotted pants and rainbow suspenders.
And you didn't paint pink plaid?
No, I did green. I did white polka dotted green pants and rainbow-colored suspenders.
That's why I like Doomsday. That's why I like painting orcs. It doesn't follow any rules, and you don't have to follow any rules. Break the rules, not the law.
We haven't done Orktober. We did Ogretober.
Ogretober?
Yeah.
You could do it. Well, orcs. No, this is Orktober, man.
We did Ogretober.
Ogretober.
Ogretober. All right, gang. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hope you've enjoyed our review of our wonderful Discord challenge. It happens every month over on the Monument Hobbies Discord. The link is up in chat where Chris put it up there. Please join us. We've got, over 6,000 amazing artists just like you guys, and you've seen some of the quality of their work. You've seen new people take a chance and jump on here. It is open for everybody. Our Discord is one of the most welcoming communities for getting some inspiration, making friends, asking any question you can imagine. It's not only us here at Monument, but the whole community is welcoming. They're great at helping out and giving tips and things that they've done. We love it. We love seeing all the comments and the activity that's going on over there. It helps people become better artists and just have more fun in the hobby by making friends. So join us on over there. Make sure to check out all of the links for the monumenthobbies.com website as well as the EU website. Make sure that the next time you have some hobby products you need, give us a shot. I think you'll love what we make. Pro-Acryl paint and all of our brushes are what keep us alive around here, so give us a try. Thank you so much for the support over the years. And then make sure that you tune in. We do this Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monument Standard Time here in Phoenix, Arizona from Monument HQ. We'd love to see you back. We do it on both Twitch and YouTube simulcast. And then on YouTube, all of these go to the live tab as soon as they're over so you can catch up on anything you missed. Or if you want to catch up on the backlog if you're just finding us. Or in the future, you can go in and catch us if you don't have time to join us during the show. But we'd love to see you back here. Make sure to hit the follow and the subscribe button. Stick around. Chris is going to find us somebody to raid, so enjoy some more hobby goodness as you go off into your evening, and we will catch you back here tomorrow.
Take it easy.